For Insanity, although you do have the range advantage, hold that.
Oh, big pick on a bounty. Just didn't expect the minion to get taken out just like that. And the dredge line follows through sweet as Rovex will find a nice little engage on a bounty, make them a little bit more wary of stepping up in this lane. It's still going to be difficult to get any kind of farming and kind of push onto the lane by the bot lane of Blue Water, but they're going to try their darndest. That being said, I know you're talking about the pathing. Yeah, we'll see if he wants to go for a quick little gank. It looks like he's just going to get the half clear off and back here. Still going to stop it. Was hesitating for a moment. Was thinking about going in for a gank, but it's going to be a back and going into the top side. So, is that a cheater recall for jungle? Is that what we call it?
I mean, this is something we've been seeing around the world a lot. Junglers full clearing one side of their camps. They go back at the early longsword. It gives them a lot of skirmishing power on basically the next like 2 minutes or so before the enemy jungler completes their first clear and goes back to base. You can fight for something like a scuttle crab. You can look for something like maybe an early gank mid and just be stronger. As Rovex finding a really nice trade on the bottom side. Blue Otter's bot lane. Patch said he wanted to see them pop off, and already Bounty's dead. No
He's
flash.
Down. First blood for Spot, and Ariana's down. Sniper just got a solo bolo in the top lane.
All right, we're already seeing volatility across the map. Patch calling his shot with Spawn, able to pick up first blood. Munchie now, he's gonna try to run down Sniper. No flash on this Cassante. Maybe he can wait out the knockup.
Oh, the flash play. Munchie's gonna get the CC. No mana from Sniper, and he will just be executed. Another kill going over to Blue Otter.
Ariana with the die into better wave state true combo is he's gonna be able to TP back, hold these minions, and Sniper are going to be forced to if he wants to push out that wave or call for jungle help. At the very least, Munchie has spent a lot of time.
Oh, look at this move. The move from Rovex, he's been on the roam. He actually caught out Tomio in the invade, and now Blue Water can chase him down. They've got the slow, they got the CC. Munchie's coming over too. Tomio is in a world of hurt. Insanity's going to throw a yellow card, but then he puts himself right in the eyes as Spawn cleans up Tomio. The flash comes out from Insanity. It is Blue Otter, baby. 3-1 early.
Yeah, I mean, you highlighted it, Mazel. Really nice move from Rovex. Munchie, I thought he might stay on the top side, potentially try to bully Sniper, but no, he says, I'm going to defend my chickens. And you know what? I defend my chicken too. So Munchie doing what any good jungler does and calls his support for help. Able to pick up another kill for his AD carry. Spawn, really nice deadly flourish, pick that one up, and getting the flash off of Insanity. And remember, volatility, I think, going to favor Blue Water. They're the ones with the composition that has the crazy amount of pick tools. They have the Pantheon. They have the skirmish. So Conviction blowing all these resources early, a little bit scary for them.
And I was wondering if we were going to get a replay of that bot lane because, I mean, from what we saw, it was just some great hooks from Rovex. Hitting Bounty with every single one of them, it felt like. And when you're getting hit by those, you don't have that kind of poke pressure that the Ashe Seraphine typically brings. You're just getting full engaged on every time you step up. And that is going to lean the way now of Blue Water in that bot lane, which has upset the balance of power down there. They're going to have pushback. Obviously, Ashe Seraphine's still very, very strong. But Spawn's going to be getting there. I mean, he's got pickaxe already with the longsword. He's going to be feeling pretty decent. Also has the blue buff as Jhin. I always love that. Being able to just spam these abilities and keep at least some wave clear coming.
Yeah, I mean, Spawn already is very strong in this bottom lane. And I agree with you. If Tactical and Bounty make more mistakes with their positioning like they already have, this lane could very quickly get out of hand for them. I do think we highlighted, this is the most important lane out of any of them on Summoner's Rift. Obviously, Ariana getting solo kill wasn't great on the top side of the map, but he's still doing fine. The lane seems relatively stable outside of that. I do think as long as he's able to not let it get out of control, Blue Otter feeling very good with their 1K gold advantage at 6.
And we do have Dragon up on the board now as well. See if any early push is going to lean into that objective at least. I know Blue Otter, we were talking a little bit earlier, even in their troubling season, they've still leaned extremely heavily on Dragons and trying to get those stacking up for themselves. There is a back and redeploy coming out from Munchie towards his bot lane as his bot lane camps are coming up as well. But we'll see what kind of prevalence that Dragon has here, because we still have a little while till the grubs come up as well. Could also just be a trade potential between the two and just kind of seeing how things pan out here.
We did just see a team-wide reset from Blue Otter on their entire bottom side of the map. I'm expecting to see a contest for this Dragon, but Rovex did overstay. He's up pretty far. They might go for Bounty. Does have his flash back up.
Starfall gets the flash out of Bounty. Really nice preemptive flash from him to get away from that one. That was going to be a really nice pick from Blue Otter.
Should secure Blue Otter the Dragon, though. Tomio's on the top side of the map, and again, I think this is just Blue Otter cashing in on the tempo. They based everyone, and now Munchie should just be able to do this one. Spawn crashing the wave first and walk over.
The dopamine, the dancing grenade feels great. Get all 4 kills on the minion. It's one of the best moments in the game. No bias. No bias. Dragon is already about half health now. They did put another control word, or at least have that control word there. And that will be an early objective and gives time to reset the map to get towards topside if they want to go for the grubs. And I got to wonder, are they favored here in this point? I mean, level 6 is going to be coming up for everyone. You're going to have the Enchanted Crystal Arrow now for Tactical. Some of that CC is truly coming online for C&D.
Yeah, I mean, their biggest tools definitely up and available, specifically looking at Insanity, right? He is the early game driver of their composition. Insanity's Twisted Fate getting active on the map, being able to find isolated members and start the fight on terms for Conviction is what they need in order to get these proactive plays. But I think in a straight up early game team fight around something like a Dragon or one of these grubs, it feels difficult for Conviction if they don't have that favorable setup.
Yeah, they are going to start up the grubs here. No response as of yet from Blue Otter. Looks like they're just going to give this one away. It's going to be pretty big, I feel like, getting all 3 grubs for this style of composition. The siege under turret will be devastating, but that will be something they'll have to return to a little bit later on. Bounty showing up in mid lane, just trying to get some roaming power off while Tactical was getting the reset off for himself. I'd love to see this from Conviction, just capitalizing on the map state. It was their turn to do something, and they go ahead and take the topside objective.
Yeah, Munchie needed to clear all of his camps after having spent time to do the Dragon. I do still think Blue Otter happy with the trade. Grubs definitely do feel nice. You mentioned the siege power, but also Conviction does have pretty good ability to play side lanes, especially with this Twisted Fate. Sante, being able to move their pieces around, I think they'll be difficult, especially Sniper to answer later on into the game in these 1v1s. But in general, I have not felt that grubs are very powerful this season, with Dragon stacking just feeling like such a good way to progress the game forward in favor of one team or the other. Grubs, honestly, I feel like they've boiled down to just kind of a nice bonus to have.
Yeah, sometimes, especially off of tempo plays, they can be really impactful when you're taking down like multiple turrets. But it is definitely something that's a little bit more undersung, or at least under the radar in the general meta right now as well. But that being said, I think it is time to see more backs. Munchie not going to go for anything. Did have the Grand Starfall, but no lane is really in a position to do anything about. The push has been constant from Blue Otter now in the bot lane, and going to be getting closer and closer to these first items as well. Really appreciate what we've seen from Spawn and Rovex dealing with this Ashe Seraphine combo so far really well.
And you just have to give credit to Rovex. He's had a really great game so far, not only setting up for that 2v2 kill in bottom lane, but also in that little jungle skirmish around the chickens, being first to the play out of the 2 supports. I think Rovex, he's had a really up and down season. You know, coming into the split, I was really feeling like Rovex might be one of the stronger supports in our league at this point. He's got multiple years of NACL under his belt. He's been playing the support role now for nearly 5 seasons, which is crazy to say, for as long as it's been since Rovex was a mid laner for the real ones that remember. But I think in general hasn't been the most impressive from him, but moments like that and games like this, or early games like this, I should say, still reminding you that Rovex is a really solid support in this league.
Yeah, he truly is. And he's been around for a while, I think rightfully so. We're getting a interesting setup right now. We have Tactical and Bounty switching up to the top side of the map. But as Sniper did show on bot side, that means the redeploy from Spawn and Rovex will be there to match. There's going to be another back coming out from Tactical. And it looks like they might switch up again. Yeah, so they're just having a little bit of map fun.
They're really trying to get out of this 2v2 because even though Conviction in the last few minutes, they've not given over more kills. The gold lead hasn't really grown for Blue Water. They've lost all their pressure for their bottom lane as Ariana.
Oh, nice flash from Ariana. That's going to be the Destiny Gate. He's going to throw up the Lee Sin emote. Insanity's going to come in with the yellow card. Tomio with the wind becomes lightning. They should have enough damage to still take this one down, but do they? The 3-talent strike wasn't enough, but it will be under tower with Insanity getting 1 kill for Conviction.
Lot committed from Conviction, but they do get the kill. Nice arrow from Tactical to force the flash early, allowing Insanity to follow through with the guaranteed CC of himself and Tomio. But Blue Water, they are pushing in mid, going to deny Insanity some of that gold back.
Oh, they found Tactical.
Oh, Munchie found Tactical.
The setup is here. Depth charge from a distance, and Munchie can't kill Tactical. Curtain call opens up, but it shouldn't be enough damage. Tactical makes it out barely alive. It's a quick play for Blue Water on the back end.
Honestly, the biggest beneficiary of this entire play going to end up being Sniper as well. Look at the top lane. He's going completely free as Blue. They recalled their bottom lane to try to continue to match the swaps, but because Ariana died with no teleport, Sniper gets a lot, and now Blue Water might be caught. Nice buffer.
It's going to be Tomio. Nice flash, 3-talent strike, the yellow card on top of it, and the CC chaining is really coming alive for Conviction.
It's mid-jungle 2v2, Tomio and Insanity. They are starting to get going. Conviction finding a massive fight win. That's going to end up in the Dragon, and that is going to even up this game.
A really nice pace of play from Conviction, and it's really those level 6s coming together finally that have really made a difference. And first Enchanted Crystal Arrow does strike true, and I expect it to continue to be that way. As a Dragon goes over to Conviction, we will have an Ocean Soul, but it's now 1-1 in those objectives. And honestly, Tactical Bounty feeling pretty okay. Still a big individual gold deficit for Tactical, but your utility makes up that difference, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, I still think they're going to be on the wrong end of this push. Spawn's definitely still the strongest member on Summoner's Rift, but I do think getting a lot of gold into Conviction, especially this mid-jungle, remember, that is the core that need to be the ones making the plays for this squad. And Sniper, with all the free time he got on the tower and on the minion waves, he's got a Kanik Rooker, and so Ariana not really going to be able to move him for the foreseeable future either. And I do think Blue Water, we're still seeing what has plagued them through a lot of this split, just seemingly playing too fast in a lot of these plays. Munchie and Rovex burning a lot of cooldowns, trying to make a play on the Tactical. They do get his summoners out, but not the kill. And then around the Dragon, Spawn was still hitting the bot lane minion wave when they get caught in the river. Just not quite connected, playing a little too far ahead of the rest of the squad. And Conviction does a great job punishing.
Does Ariana know? Does he know? Does he know? He's going to step up. He took the bait. Tomio goes for the instant Crescent Guard, get the knockback. Now Ariana going to go for the wave because he knows his life is forfeit. That'll be another big pick for Conviction. They are being decisive across the map, but they are losing bot lane.
I asked Tomio to get involved. A little bit quiet early, but the last few minutes he has truly come alive, putting Conviction in a great mid-game position. Do want to praise Ariana. Heads up play, just going for the wave with the equalizer right there, honestly. That is the correct thing to do as the Rumble when you know you are dead. But still, it's Conviction that obviously come out ahead on the play.
Still gold being traded across. Very even early game here as we cross the 15-minute mark. Just been trades back and forth. We will have the Rift Herald. That is the main focal point now. Also with the bot lanes now going towards mid, should give a little bit more onus to that fight.
Mazel, I wanted to see a bounce back from Sniper, and he is 2-1. He is up 1.5k individually, level 13 on this Cassante. I'm so glad to see him getting resources and taking advantage. Cassante is going to be a huge problem later on into the game, as Rovex did not want that hook.
Jin hates Cassante.
Yeah.
So,
who is killing this guy? He's got a Kanik Rookern against 2 magic damage carries, a Jin and a Pantheon.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not going to be easy. I mean, like pulling teeth. As Tomio starting up the Rift Herald. Blue Otter surrounding here, but I don't know if they can necessarily move in to contest. There's so much space that is available to Conviction to kind of buffer out Blue Otter's attempts, and Rovex is going to get Enchanted Crystalero, going to get the Encore on top of it too. They're going to get everything. My God, he didn't even get to touch his mouse and keyboard.
At the very least, they do get Conviction to commit as 5 towards this play. I'm a bit confused watching that one from Blue Otter. Rovex so heavily contesting the River Vision around the Herald, but seems like Orianna and the rest of the team weren't really in a position to follow up on any sort of engage on either side. So Rovex kind of just dying for free. Conviction going to continue progressing this game in their favor as they pick up a Herald. At the very least, Orianna does secure the first tower of the game for Blues, so it's not a completely one-sided trade.
Man, but you really see the power of the combination of Conviction there. Literally CC'd the entirety of his life, it felt like, for Rovex. They did use a lot for it, but that's just a sign of the times right now for Conviction on what can happen if somebody is just a little bit overextended or caught out in these fights. They will have the Rift Herald now available to them to make a play, potentially crack open some of these outer turrets as well that they haven't been able to do just yet. We are bustling to 2 items on some members, especially seeing 2 items for spawn. That's going to feel good. It's not necessarily the most damage early, but you're going to have a lot of range to play with there.
17 and a half minutes, though. The gold lead, marginal, but I think it's safe to say Conviction slightly in the lead at this point. 3rd Dragon coming onto the Rift. You mentioned the item spikes. Insanity critically not really that strong with just a 7-stack Roa, and I think this is a critical fight for Blue Otter if they want to get back into this game. If Conviction comes out ahead, their composition, their death ball is going to start to become pretty unbreakable.
Rift Herald
already, they've got the Herald on mid.
The Equalizer doesn't get the cannon, and the Rift Herald will just get the charge. Oh, he might just give his life over. Blue Otter ready for it. They're ready for the catch. They're going to get the Dredge line on top, but it's a 2-man encore. The Crescent Guard comes through, though, and it's going to block so much. It's going to be Sniper, the big focus now. He has the Frostfire Gauntlet as well. He's 2 items in. Sammy King getting bursted down the 3-town strike. It's not enough to take him out. Destiny has been popped. They got vision, but the eyes are in the eye of the beholder here, and it looks like nobody's going down just yet. Just some backs coming off at low health. The Dragon still available.
Munchie on blinking HP does have the Grand Starfall coming back up. Samikin has TP. They might try to re-engage this.
Insanity just getting caught on the side here, but Tomio's there to back him up. All of Conviction are now collapsing, but they're split on the targets. They're still going to get Munchie in the end anyways, and that just means that this Dragon fight is holistically in control of Conviction.
Oh, Sniper.
Tactical getting a little bit spicy there as Sniper also gets the kill. He's going to look forward a little bit more, but he is not going to be as tanky in this setup as he will dash away from Samikin, who has rejoined the fight at full health. Dragon has been started by Tomio and Tactical.
Ends up being a very split 2-0 as Conviction will be the ones to secure this Dragon, and they are taking firm control of this game. You can see the difference the death ball makes. Sniper got so low in that fight. It looked like Blue Otter might be able to win it, but then in the long extended play, Conviction, they have the resources to kite it out, to keep themselves topped off, and to be able to win the fight. And I, again, need to criticize Blue Otter for this re-engage. Samikin's in base. He's not even channeled TP yet. They play way too fast. This team does not have the patience. Munchie gets punished for it. Rovex ends up getting punished for it here as well. And Conviction ends up punishing by taking the Dragon.
And Samikin made a stop off there into the jungle. Unfortunately, the rest of the play was continuing in mid lane, but just a little bit too fast, like you said, for Blue Otter. Conviction will take full control of that now. 3,000 gold up, and Sniper moving forward to take them out of their own jungle at this point. I don't think the Conviction could force the Baron just yet. They aren't there yet, but they have gotten 2 items on everyone now on their side, obviously besides Bounty. That's going to be the case. They're going to try to push in this outer tower.
Tomio on the side. He is so strong. The top side of Conviction.
Engage on the Rovex.
Massive this game.
Tomio is just having himself a field day here with these executes and the way that he's trying to move into these fights. It's been really nice to see some of that confidence coming through from Conviction. And they just knew their comp, when it came together, was going to be strong. Sniper, he's okay. He's a tanky boy.
Yeah, Sniper just going to walk that one out. He is level 15, 3, 1, and 2. It's
a big redemption.
It's gonna be a difficult Cassante to kill, man.
Compared to yesterday, I think Sniper's feeling a lot better.
And again, 3rd game in a row on a tank as well. This is not really the look we're accustomed to seeing from Sniper, but is interesting to see him stepping into a little bit more of, dare I say, a weak side role. Obviously did get some attention from Tomio to really help him solidify his lead, but both the top laner and jungler of Conviction really paying their team back for those plays. And
yeah,
I think really Sniper was the player I was looking at, just in need of a bounce back series. Feels like perhaps mentally, just wasn't quite there over the last couple of series, right? Playing up against some really good top laners, but getting handled by all of them. And here against Ariana, just having a really nice game for himself, showing that he is still one of the most talented top laners we have here in the NACL.
And it's the Rumble that we've talked so much about, and it's Sniper's first Cassante of the split. Obviously played Cassante before, but first Cassante of this split, as they're going to get a catch out on a Munchie. The Encore is going to go a bit wide there, but the yellow card won't, and that CC is there again, man. And now Rovex gets caught too. The equalizer comes down. They are burning. They are ticking. The curtain call is out. They will be able to block the shots. 4th shot tries to sneak around, tries to bend the bullet, but it's not nearly enough, and that lead continues to balloon here for Conviction.
Conviction understanding that if they just group up as 5, their composition so difficult to remove. Baron start is a little bit risky, health bar's a bit low, but of course Seraphine can keep them topped off, and Sniper is full HP on the front line.
They're a little bit worried. Oh, they got the catch out on Sammykin. Oh, Sammykin, he is down. Health bar is still a little bit low in this fight, but now you're just missing bodies from Blue Otter. They just might go for the fight. Look, Bounty is going to look for it. Yellow card goes in and connects on the Rovex. Sniper's going to run him down. They just left 2 members to get the Baron. Now Grand Starfall's coming over. This was a split play from Conviction. They got a little bit too big of a head for that one. Munchie tries to get the kill with the Sniper, but can't do it. Oh my God, Munchie's getting turned around on Tomio. It's just taking him down a size, as that's going to be a killing spree for the jungler of Conviction.
Insanity. Okay, no 4th shot going to come through. No vision for Blue Otter, but Conviction, they get themselves a Baron. And you know what, Mazel? I think they might just be far enough ahead where it doesn't matter
They're
if
playing
the call
with
that
their
they make
food.
a split. I agree. Maybe going a little bit too deep there where the solo lanes and Bounty trying to make the turn happen, but they ended up trading out 2 for 1 anyway.
Really solid performance so far in this game by Conviction. Dragon coming up in 20 seconds. Would be soul point on the Ocean Soul for them as well. I think this is one that Blue Otter is just going to have to give.
Yeah, I mean, Conviction just has so much control over the map. I really like the way Insanity playing between multiple lanes, always looking for potentially isolated members to be able to follow through on. Conviction has a lot of ability to engage on anyone, no matter where they are on the map, be it Destiny Gate or Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and that means Blue Otter, if they are not grouped up, which they currently have their mid laner hitting top tier 1 and their jungler farming top camps, means they just can't defend.
And that's Baron buff. This is going to be tough. And hey, here comes the grub conversation, as the siege just becomes that much more difficult to manage here when they have all 3 grubs. And you can see the Baron buff helping out with that. Sniper looking for false engages, but just trying to keep the pressure, keep the line forward to be able to take this inhib as well. They're taking mid lane as well on top of it all. Sniper getting a little bit lower. Needs to be a bit careful there. But they will get the permanent damage, at least on the bot side, and was looking for the mid lane turret too. Sniper gonna get, 2-man Encore, double CC root, but they don't have the damage. They can't get across the Wind becomes lightning. Tomio says, we are going. Turret's going to fall. No more defenses for Blue Otter. And those defenses might not even be there here for the rest of the game. That is Conviction with a convincing base fight. They will lose one. Insanity does overextend there. Curtain Call is going to be unleashed here, but they should be able to dodge out of this one. Baron buff still for 30 seconds, and they are on to the Nexus turrets.
Yeah, Conviction, they might just close this one out. Sub 27 as we cross the 26-minute mark, 3v5 in the base.
CC, Sniper. Sniper goes down, shutdown goes to Munchie. They could have the defense here. The turrets are down now. Nexus is bare, but Tactical so low. Deadly Flourish not going to get him there. The flash is coming through, and it will be the white flag raised for the moment by Conviction, but they will go back to the Baron, or to the Dragon rather, potentially after these resets.
Blue Otter will live to fight another day. Conviction reaching their hand maybe just a little bit too far into the cookie jar, but I don't think it's going to change the outcome of this game. The gold diff is just too large. Blue Otter not going to have the damage or the tank stats to really get through this Seraphine, Cassante, death ball of a composition. And you know what? This game, despite the first 5 or so minutes, really looking all Blue Otter. Conviction, once Tomio started getting active on the map, they just took over.
Yeah. And that's what you draft this comp for. You realize that the 5-man, the CC that you can provide, and the lockdown, if you're on the right target, can just be so difficult to deal with. And as soon as I saw the Ash Seraphine come in, it's like, yes, you can have good lanes, and it can go well. It didn't go well. But afterwards, it's the utility they bring, right? Like the combo of hitting an Enchanted Crystal Arrow with an Encore on top of it has been so nice for Conviction.
Now,
and let's give it up to Tactical and Bounty, by the way. You know, having a good start to the series today.
Yeah, I mean, the lane phase was not great, but once the team fights have started, I think they've definitely done their jobs. I really did like the arrow from Tactical on towards Ariana in that first play that really got the Conviction ball rolling. I do still think, you know, still room for improvement, though, for the two of them, at least as far as I'm concerned.
Well, the siege continues. The base crumbling to dust around Blue Otter. The final lane with turrets in it is slowly getting whittled down. I don't know if they'll be able to push past this minion wave, though. It looks like siege will be delayed, but this is honestly all they need to fight for. You don't have the Baron for another minute. You don't have Dragon for another 4 minutes as well. You can just kind of exert your pressure. This lead that feels so overbearing against Blue Otter.
I mean, Blue Otter knows they just can't engage. They have to wait for Conviction to make a mistake, but it's so difficult because Conviction can always rally numbers with something like the Twisted Fate Ultimate. And if Blue Otter ever overcommits to attacking a single member, Conviction could just go forward on the other side, you know, with their numbers of their own. So Blue probably jailed into their base for the foreseeable future. I think Soul in 3 minutes, potentially where we're going to see that final game-ending fight. That is, if Conviction doesn't want to just do Baron in 20 seconds.
I think they will. Tough start for the final series for Blue Otter in their search for another win in this first split as well. I think it could be a tough outing here. Hopefully the you know, keep your head in the game mentality is going to be there as well for this series. But I do wonder if they even try to contest this Baron. Doesn't feel like they're in position to do so, and they still got to clear out a lot of these waves.
Yeah, doesn't look like that's going to happen. I mean, if they felt like they could leave their base, which they don't really have any vision outside of, it's just too difficult to really engage into this 4-man squad of Conviction. They know it would get turned around on their heads. As you mentioned, 2 inhibitors down means plenty of minion waves to clear out. I think Blue Otter just going to settle to try to pre-push some waves. Hope that buys them enough time off this Baron buff to where they can maybe survive and maybe get out on the map for this Ocean Soul.
The Purple Capes at the back of the purple team. Conviction looking for a stop to the slide here, if you will, as they are on a 3-series loss streak, and they've all been 2-0s. They have not won a game since week 4 of the NACL. I'm hoping this bot lane change can maybe make that happen here. So far, it's looking pretty good for at least game number one. Still a whole series to play out, but we're looking to finish this one off with a potentially 10+ K gold lead. So the siege coming a little bit slow here, not able to get much damage onto the turret.
This game feels important to me for Conviction, not just to pick up a win. I think for mental, Conviction just looked like they were so scattered over the last few weeks. They looked like they weren't playing with the same swagger, even...
Oh, the encore on a 2. Insta cleanse from spawn. He should be fine, but Rovex is another question altogether. He gets knocked back. He gets the dredge line out. He's alive. Insanity's going to cleanse himself with his spellbook. He should be fine for now. Curtain call not going to get much in the end. The final turret has fallen. Now it's only the Nexus turrets that are alive. TP coming back in from Sniper, and this should be the end of the game. Look at all those cannon minions. There's more waves coming in. It's going to be a last-ditch effort for Blue Otter, but it's going to be Ariana, the immediate focus for Conviction. A yellow card connects there. Monta Munchie, they're going to try to get Samikin. Samikin goes between worlds, but he doesn't have the health bar to stick around for very long. A double root from Bounty, and it's going to be the all-out from Sniper to signal the all-in from Conviction. Game number one, holistically theirs, and a massive, massive game number one for Conviction.
It's absolutely huge, because as I was going to say, Conviction, it just felt like they needed some confidence back, man. Tomio getting back out on the map and always going forward like we expect from a player like him. Sniper getting a handle on Ariana in the 1v1 with a nice solo kill, and then being able to build that lead even bigger. Insanity on the Twisted Fate. He's making plays all over the map, and that allowed Conviction to just group up and be stronger as a team. It's not just about putting a W in the column, but Conviction looking like a squad that actually knows how to win games. That is so big.
Yeah, it truly was. And while the bot lane was going tough, I think Tomio was able to keep tempo on the game itself, keep a lot of control there as well. So big shout out to him for this one, but as well as the whole...
the bottom lane. The lane didn't exactly go according to plan, but once they were able to scale up, doing their jobs just as well.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing here is doesn't matter what happens in the early game. It matters what happens in that mid game. And yeah, it didn't matter how far ahead Spawn had gotten in the bot lane. It was a team diff from Conviction. We'll see the teams back on the same sides here as Blue Otter on that blue side will be banning away the Caitlyn. Looks like they're going to have first pick as well again. Orianna going to be the needed ban here as a very powerful champion on the patch now. Rise also going to be banned away as well by Blue Otter. So mid lane bans coming out plenty.
Seeing similar bans to what we saw in game 1. Obviously, Fearless going to change up what the teams are able to bring to the table, though. And reminder for the sakes of this game, Blue Otter, they're one to be a team that just looks like they're making the same play all at once. It was a huge point of emphasis in the previous game. And if you are going to be against this heavy pick, heavy dive conviction composition, you can not split up like that, or conviction will just pick you apart. In this early game, though, bottom lane, I still think of the utmost importance, that 2v2, definitely with the potential to be explosive, double range, but Decerux, very well known for its ability to fight back. And then for Insanity as well, going for this Lissandra. It is, I don't want to say an old school counter pick to the Ahri. It is a niche counter pick to the Ahri. We have seen it a little bit in the LCS. Calfox did unfortunately not win. It was against Ahri.
Very true. Something to think about. As Rovex takes about half his health in the earlier trade. That's not going to feel incredibly great. Did to burn the early heal, the early barrier there from Tactical as well. Block a decent amount of that damage, and still loving what the early laning phases have been like in the bot lane with the early summoner spell usages. But this time around, for the first time, we're going to get both junglers pathing the same way. We'll be looking towards bot lane unless there's any shenanigans to be had in their paths.
Yeah, I don't think we're really expecting too many fireworks on the top side of the map. I think Sniper should just be able to build himself up a nice CS lead. Orianna, at the very least on the Scion, should be very safe. Tactical and Bounty, I think a very good level 1 for them. You already highlighted the trade. The weakest part of the lane for Lucian Nami is that level 1. So Spawn and Rovex not being able to take advantage, but Samikin, talk about nice trading.
Yeah, able to get a really hefty advantage in the mid lane now over Insanity. Insanity will be forced to burn his TP early to get back, and that was almost first blood to Blue Otter too. Samikin will take the trade, will go up a little bit in minions as well, and get the reset himself.
Very least, Insanity is able to hang on to his flash, so should mean that, you know, it's a mistake that will get the teleport, will force Insanity, rather, to miss a couple of creeps, but shouldn't have too many long-lasting ramifications, as long as he's able to not let that happen again.
It's okay that you did it once. Don't let it happen again.
Exactly.
Angry Hawk.
But, you know, if you lose the flash, all of a sudden, you might not have a choice if it happens again.
Maybe losing some flashes is bot lane. Looks like they will be. Oh, they're stepping up for the 3v3
here.
Trying to buy into this Lucian early damage. Tomio is going to hit the Vault Breaker on the Munchie. Munchie waiting to go in, will not pull the trigger on it, and will just go towards top side, seeding the bot lane scuttle to Conviction.
Bottom lane taking so much
really
damage.
Good trades from Tactical. He's able to dodge out through most of it as well. Getting some of those early poke moments in on the Lucian is important. Tomio is just going to dart straight across mid, try to contest for the Scuttle Crab.
Let's push in top for Sniper, so Munchie going to be forced to give that one away. Both these junglers so ultimate reliant. Camp advantage for Tomio going to feel very good.
That's a big moment for Tomio. Take a little bit of control there. You don't often see the double scuttle, especially if the other jungler has already seeded the bot lane. But for now, we'll have a pretty nice advantage in the jungle and stemming off that game number 1. I think rightfully so. Big highlight in today. Tomio just obviously reunited with Tactical there and Insanity, but he's been kind of the linchpin for the entirety of Conviction in how they get off the ground running, how they get some of these advantages that they've gotten.
Ooh, nice trade there for Sniper too. Yeah. I mean, I think Conviction in a really nice, comfortable spot in this game already. Both side lanes going very well for them. We are seeing Munchie play around his 1 point of power. Samikin doing a really nice job in the lane against Insanity. We didn't really talk about it too much, but in game 1, against the Twisted Fate, Samikin also trading very well, did build himself a CS lead. Part of that, of course, coming from Insanity, going for some of those roams on the Twisted Fate, but I do think it has been a good laning phase from Samikin so far in this series.
So far, so good. Still want to see that transition into team fight wins. And that's an important factor here today as well, especially with the Ahri pick. Just being able to hit those charms, get the big catch out. The crucial part to kind of keep an eye on for Blue Otter in these fights. We are getting a little bit closer to level 6s, so that Spirit Rush combo with Munchie will be super important. We do have Dragon on the table, though. Both junglers pathing down towards bot lane. I think this bot lane priority is going to be of utmost importance.
Full resources on
Tactical.
both sides. Tactical.
Oh, Tactical. Nice little dodge there, but he's just getting himself further into the hole. Here comes Tomio, trying to take the fight back. Tactical calculated the entire way, dashes into the fight again, and he is okay. What a Chad play from Tactical.
Yeah, very nicely done to sidestep the flag and drag, and that health advantage should mean Dragon over to Tomio. Munchie just going to take a recall, confirming it for them. It is flash for flash off of the supports, with the objective going to be the real prize, and it is Conviction just slowly but surely building up a lead. Remember, their composition does generally want to be ahead, as Blue Water Mind has the strong front to back once the items do start coming through.
This item's going to be nice power spikes there as well. Spellbook TP going to be used by Rovex. It gets back over to lane. Able to keep up the pressure down there, potentially. The push has been a little bit back and forth between the two. But now that these grubs are in about a minute and a half, we've seen some of the fighting strength already. Conviction, do you favor them going into these next fights around the objectives?
Yeah, definitely the next couple of fights. I mean, second Dragon, potential Void Grub play. Conviction's champions just stronger at this point. The immense pick potential as well. Okay, that's a cooldown burned.
Yeah, Frozen Tomb is going to be gone now. Samikin doing a great job of trading into Insanity.
I think even despite that, though, it still doesn't change the fact that Conviction does feel like they just have stronger champions at this point. Obviously, you can't count out the strength of things like Jarvanari if they do manage to find a pick. And Blue Water, they do have the first wards on the top side river. So if there is maybe a look for a play, it could be there. But Ariana getting bullied out like this with Sniper having priority means it would be quite a feat.
Yeah, they're just going to get reset, get ready for this next potential fight. TP probably going to be utilized by Insanity. Yep, he's going to go ahead and pull the trigger on that one. Get back out to mid lane, be ready for this one too. As Munchie and Tomio, more importantly, will have level 6s now available. A lot of facilitation tools are now available for both sides.
It is important that Munchie has still been able to keep up.
He's spotted.
With Tomio.
Really
now,
good vision
Ariana
play.
does not have vision on the top side of the map. He just ulted for the wave. He is probably dead.
Yeah, he might be as we go top lane. Cease and desist used. The CC chain is there. It's going to be the flash from Ariana. They won't follow it through. They don't want to burn any more abilities, or at least even burn the summoner spells to try to get the kill. He is still a tanky Scion, even if it's early, as he's stacking straight armor right now. And this might mean the ping's coming down. Yeah, it will be the grubs. Potentially getting started off by Tomio here. Just wants to make sure it's going to be safe.
Again, though, I do think it's really big that Munchie's keeping up with Tomio in terms of the clear. He already full cleared his top side before coming down towards bottom here. So he's going to get ahead in the camps. Ariana's just going to try to harass away Tomio too. I think playing very well to absorb a lot of pressure, slow down Conviction, and allow Blue Water to just say, hey, we can just take some gold and experience. We know we can't win the fights at this point. So if we can just make sure we're getting income, that's all that matters.
Yeah, a little bit of a wonky setup there. And Insanity will go deliver the bad news to Tomio as he walked over to the Wolves. Will tell Tomio, unfortunately, it's gone. Your entire blue side. But it will be the grubs that end up getting finished off here by Conviction. So there'll be some nice experience there for Tomio. Trying to keep up with Munchie, but here comes the quad play on the bot side. Blue Water going to go for a gank, going to go for a dive. They don't get tackled, but the Cataclysm does. The healing is insane. The double knockup is there as well. They do end up trading one, almost two, but it's Blue Water with a 2-for-1 in bot lane.
Great dive from Blue Water, though, as it's Ariana harassing and slowing down Tomio. Means that Conviction cannot get back for the reset. Insanity, he went to a base when Samikin went for the roam. So a great use of that timer from Blue Water, utilizing their numbers advantage, denying Tactical that wave, getting a couple kills. Yes, it does trade back, but I think you take that every day of the week if you are blue, as that's going to be your precision play presented by Philips Norelco One Blade. Great juggling here coming through Munchie. Excellent patience on the Cataclysm. Obviously, Rovex does end up eating the extra shot, but again, I think a trade kill on the support, more than worth it. Munchie is even going to get back in time to take a couple of the grubs. So a great sequence across the board as a team for Blue Water.
Yeah, initially it saw Tomio wrapping back around to the grubs, but he didn't end up taking them, and now that is a boon for Blue Otter. Spawn getting oppressed off the turret with the culling. Tactical going to keep pushing in here. TP back into the top side by Ariana, so he'll be able to match up against Sniper. And so far, so good for Blue Otter. I mean, we said, you know, you just got to hold on, keep going until this comp starts getting some items, starts getting to these big team fights. While we have another dragon coming up here as well, I don't know if they're necessarily pressed to take that fight, but they might feel willing to.
And if Blue Otter is going to win this game and keep their season alive, or at least their hopes of not going to relegation alive, they need to be coordinated like that in the future sequences. The full team, all 5 members, even Ariana, who wasn't directly a part of that play, were involved in that setup. That needs to continue because that has been something that has plagued them as Samikin is continuing to find great trades in mid, and I think that buys Blue Otter a dragon.
They have paid the taxes, and they will now reap what they sow. As Bubble goes a little bit wide, maybe a little bit extra damage came down if Rovex does get caught by that one. Doesn't look like any contest from Conviction. Tomio is going to go to bot lane. He's going to go for a cheeky little push play down here, potentially. As the push is coming through, the bot lane of Blue Otter will reassume the bot lane, and that means 1-1 on those neutral objectives. Tomio still hunting. Still trying to get the bait out. They got the bait. That is Omega bait for Rovex, but he dashes, he flashes, and he's fine.
That's the power of the Rakan right there. Always able to dance his way back out no matter how deep he goes. And again, that's a lot of time committed from Tomio. Look mid, now a dive.
They are looking mid now as well. Frozen Tomb already used. Insanity flashing away from it,
Nice
but the charm lands nonetheless. And let the spirit fire take him. Insanity is gone. As Tomio did show up, but unfortunately everybody's getting away from him now.
Looks like Tactical and Bounty also trying to make a dive happen, and bot doesn't quite land. So Blue Otter able to keep everyone alive, and Samikin is the MVP of this game. 12.5 minutes in for me so far. He's got 2 kills to his name. Really nice charm to be able to make sure that Insanity goes down after coming out of the Frozen Tomb. He was also instrumental in the bot roam, and a big part of the reason why Blue Otter has a marginal gold advantage.
And it's going to be super crucial. I mean, we said it when they drafted it. I think this combo is the spotlight for Blue Otter. Spawn in some trouble. Had to use the Feather Storm. He's going to use the Blade Caller as well to try and get some of those minions back, but that was a tough situation as the calling got unleashed onto him once again. Back to that Samikin point, he's on that first item. He's going to be ramping up as this Ahri, and I want to see them continue to be proactive. It's still a team that when they scale, when they get to this team fight, it's going to be awesome, but the farther ahead Samikin is, the easier to execute these fights are going to be.
Exactly, and make no mistake, the gold lead not substantial at all for Blue Otter, and Conviction's composition still going to be very strong at this stage of the game. This one item sort of spike as Ariana forced to ult away in the 1v1.
He was a little scared that Shojin's was starting to hit pretty hard. We do have those first item spikes coming up for majority members as well as the double Essence Reaver and bot side, but Tactical still decently ahead. Already has the Zeal as well. And he's going to deploy to mid lane, try to get some more plates in this side, and they're going to get ready for this Rift Herald play in less than a minute's time.
Conviction, though, seem like they're really still looking for picks, wanting to find those isolated members of Blue Otter. That is how their composition does want to function. And this is where Lucian's going to start to look strong, right? He's got an item and a half. He's on the mid wave, got his team behind him, can always look to try to dash forward, make sure he's getting first touch on the wave spawn. Always going to have to respect the damage that can come out.
Tactical dashing out now. Does just walk out of the grand entrance. Feels good for him. He's got the dancing shoes on now as well. As a little bit of a pick onto Samikin. It's going to get his ult out, so Spirit Rush will be down if they want to transition towards top. Looks like Tomio wants to stick around. Rovex, some trouble there. There's the poke. There's that damage that you love to see from Tactical. And it's a guy who's been playing so confident today, willing to step up as well. And on the Lucian, it just fits his style.
And this is what Lucian wants to do, right? You just want to dominate mid-game, mid-waves, make sure your team always has first move to the side, because now it allows Conviction to play like this. However, they are on odd numbers.
Tomio's playing super zealously right now, but Munchie might just pay his life for it. It's going to be a big pick from Samikin on Insanity, and Tomio kind of baiting his mid laner there.
Yeah, I mean, mid lane priority, sure, it lets you go pretty far up as Conviction on the side waves, but you still can't just jump into an odd numbers fight. Bounty wasn't really there, so it was more like a 3v2 as Spawn.
He's going to save the Featherstorm just in case. Barely makes it out with his life, using the barrier. Still had the ultimate at his side, but he's going to lose all pressure in mid lane. He's going to need some healing from Rovex as Tomio spotted out here, sticking around, but the TP coming in from Sniper. They want to try to capitalize on his Samikin. They want to get his shutdown. He's going to use the Spirit Rush as it had come back up, and he will be fine.
Good attempt from Conviction. Spawn has really got to stop stepping up to Tactical on these waves. Just let the wave come to you. Let Tactical have the priority. I don't think Xayah is really going to be able to contest Lucian on these waves without help from the rest of the team, and Spawn would like to see him have that understanding moving forward.
I'm curious now, I mean, we already have second item there for Tactical, about a little bit less than 1,000 gold lead. He hasn't bought boots yet, so that's what's enabled him to hit those second items earlier, but it's still a massive spy. Rapid Fire Essence Reaver, you're going to be able to get some of this poke down at even further range with the power up from Nami as well. And we do finally see the trade of objectives come through a little bit later than maybe expected. The Rift Herald being started up by Munchie, the Dragon by Tomio.
I like this, though. This is really the strongest part of the game for the Conviction composition, so Blue Water just going to continue trading as Herald getting worked down by Munchie. I do still think Dragon stacking very strong in the current meta, as Tactical again just ripping open the culling, not letting Spawn and Rovex play the game. But Conviction, they're going to have the ability to force fights later, right? Blue Water, likely in 5 minutes, not going to want to let a soul point go down, so they better hope they're able to get their item spikes and they're able to get all 5 members to the play by that time. Otherwise, Conviction could be feeling real nice.
Yeah, they definitely could be. I do wonder now, though, as oh god, just one little poke, just one little moment, and that's just going to be a back. Initiated. Should be able to get the duo back if Spawn wants to take it. Not going to take it. Samikin now is going to be engaged on. Munchie is the one that they go for in the end anyways. He's going to flash. Insanity is to get the lockdown, the root there. The charm connects, though. Insanity get a little bit lower. Munchie fighting for his life, but goes down to Tomio. Samikin looking for resets. Ooh. Finds one, though.
That speaks to how strong Samikin is right there in a 3v2. Able to turn it around and make sure Insanity drops.
Where's the Dark Seal? Get a Dark Seal, Samikin. Do it.
Dude,
I'm a big fan. Knight has ruined.
We got a big reader over here. Mr. Mazel, he likes books.
Dude, I like books. Especially when Knight in the LPL reads them. He just made me so biased towards it. I just want to see it thriving for all of our mid laners. But it can't be understated how important this performance is from Samikin. I do feel like he's kind of the heart of the team. I know we talked about that a lot. We were talking about that a lot yesterday as well. But it's nice to see him performing at least here in this series, kind of waking up the team in game number 2 as well. As the side lane turret does go down to Conviction, they do wrestle the small gold lead that Blue Water had away from them.
Wonder if Ariana didn't have ultimate right there, or didn't have mana for ultimate, because I am very surprised he did not let that minion wave died and try to extra tower shot. Regardless, does mean tower goes down. Conviction still opening up the map in their favor. Samikin, I agree with you. I mean, him and Rovex are still the 2 remaining original Aporia members from back when that used to be the organization in spring of 2024 that then turned into Blue Water, that then promoted to the NACL for 2024 summer. So these 2 guys, I really do think are the soul of this squad. And for Samikin, we've been really hyped up about this player for a long time.
Oh,
so it's good to see him having a nice game.
Tactical tries to sidestep. Even though Ariana's tanky, Tactical will still do good damage. He will be hurting himself on the back end, though, with the Bramble Vest there. But, yeah, I just looking at the state of games here, I mean, it's pretty even for a comp for Conviction, who definitely wants to be kind of the leading man here, be a little bit further along in the item spikes here for themselves earlier on, because I don't know who's killing Ariana as time goes. Like, if he gets tankier, like, it's going to be hard. He's just going to be walking around as Sion.
And I feel like I have deja vu, Mazel, because I think this third dragon fight in 2 minutes, that's going to be the opportunity for Conviction to really break open the game in their favor.
Frozen Tomb comes in after the flash there. The cast time needed just a moment.
Big cooldown.
Does get out with his life, but that's going to be some big cooldowns down for him. Still does have the Spirit Rush available, and we're going to see more movement around the Baron buff here. I don't know if Blue Otter needs to contest this.
Blue has a lot of ults. Blue has a lot of ults. Conviction only has the World Ender right now, so they need to be a little bit careful to make sure they don't get engaged on. Rovex has Flash and ulti if he wanted to get spicy with it. But again, I think it's this third dragon fight. That's the moment where Conviction wants to try to break open the game and really explode an advantage. That's going to be the team fight where they are the strongest. But if Blue Water is able to stand strong and deliver a competent 5v5, it feels like their composition will just be able to start taking over the game from that point.
It does feel that way. It just feels like it's right there on the cliff, and wanting to see what kind of item spikes come through before this big fight. Obviously, Spawn has hit his second item. He also has the boots fully completed, to the other fact that Tactical's still wearing brown paper bags. But it's still all about the setup here. Who enters first? Big thing. Seeker's arm guard completed by Samikin. He can play a little bit more loosely now, too, in how he comes into this fight. But importantly enough, all the flashes probably going to be up just in time for Conviction, while Samikin going to be the only one without it.
Bounty might not have his, but Sniper seems like he's a bit of a target here. Let's see if Conviction's able to get here in time.
I don't think he's getting out of this one. This is a 3-man gank coming through, and Sniper will go to the alcove, try to get some healing back, but he will slowly but surely be taken down. Big onto Sniper, ahead of the big objective.
That's a lot of damage on his Spawn, though. He might be a little bit removed from this fight. It does at least hold on to most of his cooldowns, the barrier. I think he's happy to burn that in trade for the culling. 4v5 on the map. Conviction, they might not even get that team fight. Tactical, he does not have the items to chew through Orianna on this mid-wave, let me tell you.
He really doesn't. Orianna could just stand tall. He's going to get a decimating smash on top of him, too. Look how much damage Orianna's doing to Tactical. And that's going to be a blade caller on top of it, too. Yeah, he just takes no damage. As now we get the counter engage here. It's going to be a big charm on the Tomio. Tomio's going to have to use the Vault Breaker defensively. Charm tries to come through from Samikin, but Dragon is already gone to Blue Water. They're stepping up to the plate.
Great sequence from Blue Water, making the call to go for Sniper. Orianna and Samikin, the solo laners, linking up, but Samikin just ripped through that Aatrox health bar. And then Orianna, I think a great sequence for him across the board, recognizing that he needs to connect with Spawn to get his AD carry in the fight. Spawn has been getting bullied on midwave after midwave by Tactical. Somebody has to help him get there. Orianna utilizing his health bar as that resource to ensure it's possible, and they parlay that into a flash off of Tomio and a Dragon. It's not the massive team fight that maybe we were looking for, but it's more time for Blue Water. Conviction not being able to explode the game is massive.
Yeah, being on Soul Point, especially an Infernal Soul, makes so much of a difference in terms of the decision-making pathway for Conviction. But now that's tied to 2-2. A lot of that delay is starting to come through for Blue Otter. It's something we mentioned from draft and in early game. These 3 items, it's right next to us. Like they are very close to being able to complete that 3rd item and really hit their stride as a comp.
Tactical is still the strongest person on Summoner's Rift. 3 items is so massive on this Lucian that IE will actually let him start punching it into Orianna, who has completed, though, an armor item and a half with the Bramble Vest and the Unending Despair. Mercury treads to make sure that Insanity and the Nami damage
he's done
isn't going to rip through him so much. And yeah, I mean, look, man, when you're able to just dash forward on every mid-wave, pump up those numbers, it's no surprise for Tactical. I'm honestly impressed at how close Samikin is to him with just how involved this Ahri has been in all the plays for Blue Water. Great games from both the mid laner and AD carry of Blue Water and CMV.
Oh, they found him. You can't curse them. No, Samikin survives. It's everything used by Conviction. It's going to be flashes away from Tactical. Tactical goes unleashing with the culling, and Tomio takes down Munchie. Very chaotic series of events. Samikin survives, but his jungler pays the ultimate price.
Oh my goodness, that might have been it for Conviction. If they got Sammy, I don't think they can do this Baron with the Ahri still alive. He's got the teleport. CNV's trying to bait it, but they know they don't have the health bars.
That was everything used by Conviction. Really nice capitalization there. Munchie just putting his life on the line on the back end. does end up falling. That was a lot of flashes, a lot of ultimates used by Conviction, and they didn't end up getting their initial target. That setup for Samikin is still there. Some pings to get rid of some of the vision around the Baron buff by Blue Otter, as they'll move in to the pressure vacuum that Conviction left. And now that does mean things are a little bit more dicey. Munchie not able to sustain long in these early fights. And luckily, Samikin still at the ready for Blue Otter.
I mean, that was it. It feels like Conviction just bet the game on that pick. Samikin getting away with less than 100 HP could be the difference. As how do you team fight this next dragon with no flash on your Lucian, no flash on your Lissandra? I'm going to say good death for Munchie. Sure, he goes down, but the Baron didn't fall. He almost killed Tactical. He got all of the summoners off of him. And his mid laner, critically, the carry for Blue Otter lived.
Samikin going to find more damage, more poke. They're trying to find him. I mean, their ults are back up now, so if he overextends, he's going to have to flash out. Nice little play. Tries to get it with the Spirit Rush there and the Charm combo. Don't end up finding it, so the Spirit Rush won't be available unless he's going to use it now. He flashed into the Charm! Bounty is gone! Oh, no! That is catastrophe. And another Charm connects. Samikin is just roaring and raging through the entire line of Conviction.
Oh, that might be Baron. It's the front line and the support down for Conviction. Still a minute till this dragon.
Man.
It's a charm on Tactical.
Oh, my God. Another charm hits. Tactical just dead to rights. Stepping up into no vision like that. That is a mistake. The bot lane catastrophe has hit for Conviction. Both Tactical and Bounty having big misplays.
Yeah, I mean, Tactical, his jungler had left. Tomio wrote off the objective already. Why are we face checking? But Samikin is 1v9, 6-0-3, 100% kill participation, finds the charms to get them the Baron, to put them into the lead, and to keep this series alive. As, Bounty, it was the Faker flash. It was the Faker flash against Crown.
Oh, man. That hurts. That absolutely hurts. But in their final series, Blue Otter showing some serious life here. And it's especially from their leading man in the mid lane, at least. Going to be the one taking that Blue Otter flag forward. Rovex needs to be a little bit careful. Insanity is going to try to get the lockdown here. Samikin's the target on the side. He's going to go for the Spirit Rush combo into Bounty, and it's Munchie that follows up with a flank too. It's going to be a reset now, and all of Blue Otter have surrounded Conviction. I don't know if they realize how they got to this point, but they got to find a way out now. Tactical is going to be the focus by Spawn. Culling comes through. Rovex is going to go down. Big setup by Conviction as they are now collapsing. It's the Uno reverse card right now, and I don't know if Blue Otter can handle it. The lead, that little advantage, it's starting to slip. Samikin trying to get away from this fight. The big shutdown is not there on him any longer. He's going to flash away from that cease and desist, or at least the vault breaker there, as the cease and desist not available for Tomio. Samikin still playing within an inch of his life, but a big capitalization by Conviction, and the dragon is up. That means soul point for them.
And the Baron push denied. A great fight for Sniper as Conviction was playing the long game in that fight. Yo-yoing Blue Otter between the two sides, not really having the decision-making to be able to pick one and commit. Just for Conviction to then snap the jaws shut around them. I do think, again, critically, Samikin does still survive, but regardless, it's a big fight win for Conviction, who is still very alive in this game.
It's such a back-and-forth game. And I love that we're starting off our day with some of these tight-knit games. Obviously, some things going a little bit awry in that game, number 1 for Blue Otter. But in this one, seriously showing some life. They've still got some Baron buffs in the mid lane. We're taking a look at the picture-in-picture of that fight. It was chaotic as heck. A bubble lands. Rovex forced to get away on that one. We'll end up having a little bit of reprieve there if the tier 2 tower in the mid lane goes down for Blue Otter.
Blue Otter with the tail end of their Baron, at least going to show that they still have some control over Summoner's Rift, but definitely not getting as much from that as they would have liked. And it looks like we are still going to have more fights. Baron in 3.5 minutes, Dragon only 30 seconds later. And it still feels like it's only one carry really on each side that matters. Samikin versus Tactical as Spawn is in Narnia.
Yeah, he is, and unfortunately he's surrounded by the opposition, as the Blade Caller coming back will not be enough to get a kill back, and that is the 80 down for the moment for Blue Water. Oh, Tomio might have gone a little bit too ham. He's going to get his GA popped. It's Insanity that goes forward. He's going to pop his Zhonya's. Now you have the double knock up there, and Samikin is looking to go through again. He's getting resets after resets yet again. He's looking for more, missing the charm. Samikin is alive and well. That was a flash dash there and not available from Tactical. That's Samikin going legendary now, and they're going to chase down Bounty. The fish will be fried. It won't go to Samikin, but it'll be an ace for Blue Water, and they're showing some life in this first series.
It's an ace. It might just be the base. Everyone's down for 30 seconds. No spawn, though, to help them push down these towers. Inhibitor at least set to drop. I'm honestly not sure if they can end the game. I think the answer is no. We're going to jump into a replay as Tomio, a very questionable jump forward. And then it's really Ariana. This knockup is going to give Sammy the green light to re-engage in the 4 versus 5. So much AoE damage coming out so fast, immediately making it into a 4v3. Tactical almost turns it around with some slick moves, but Samikin, great timing on the Zhonya's, able to go golden, dodge out on the damage, and still continue to carry yet another fight.
Dude, Samikin has just been on one this game. He's a man possessed at this point. Let me take a look back at the map. Now there's a stable lead for Blue Water. Now there's a 3,000 gold lead that they can feel confident moving into these next plays with. The spawn goes over the wall by himself. Goes straight on Tomio. Tomio's just dead. Really nice play here. Oh, he does dash away at the last second. The flash. Oh, it's enough. Spawn sinks the feathers into Tomio, and now they're going to push this top lane.
A lot burned, but I think Blue Water are going to be very happy to just take full control over the map. Also over the Baron area with that objective spawning in just about a minute. Tomio will be up in time, but it's so hard for Conviction to walk in without any true front line. Should be able to defend their base, although Ariana has thoughts.
Okay, the knockup coming through as well. They actually find the CC chain onto Munchie, but Munchie has his GA. He can play with his life here. They are looking for the end. They're circling the drain right now. Rovex going forward. Spawn just taking the culling to the face. That's the Feather Storm going to be used. Sammy tries to go for another play. Tries to go for a charm. Misses it. He's got to be really careful. The burst damage can come through at any moment from Conviction.
Very touch and go sequence right there. I think Blue Water might have bit off a little bit more than can chew. Sniper, he's behind. He's got that big TP shield and the World Ender to boot.
Yeah, he has an angle, but he's a little bit worried.
No vision.
I would be too. Yeah, not being able to see anything. That's a reset out for Blue Water. The lead continued, but an important fight on the horizon. Baron is up in 5, but the more important one, 40 seconds for the Dragon, would be a soul for Conviction.
And I do think it's a mistake in the base there from Blue Water, not taking the inhibitor and also going just so deep that they have to reset late. They lose all their control over this Baron, so Conviction really effectively able to reset the map here. We are still going to get another even numbers fight. Blue wisely prioritizing this Dragon. But remember, Conviction does not have to take this objective if they don't want to. Control over mid going to be important for a potential Baron look.
And they will move in. So little vision from them, though. They got to be careful. Conviction, we're looking for play, but that was onto the frontliners, so don't know if that was going to pay off. They're going to try to threaten the Baron.
Water cutting the wave high. I like this a lot. Tomio.
Tomio wanted that one. He's going for the false engages on Ariana, trying to bait somebody else out so he can get the cease and desist, but that is so hard to do with this comp style from Blue Water. They are just moving around. Samikin almost dead. He has to pop the Spirit Rush. That is so scary if he goes down. He's going to heal a decent amount now, and they're going to move over. But Conviction starting to feel a little bit more confident, starting to feel a little bit more antsy to take this fight. Samikin still at the ready, still incredibly strong. 4 items in. Zhonya's available. Flash available. Flash Charm could make the difference in this game.
Tomio is on a deep flank. I'm not sure if Blue Water knows he's there. Sammy, though, no Spirit Rush. It's a massive cooldown no longer available. Was traded for the culling.
They want Samikin. They want Samikin. They want Samikin. The flat play. The tidal wave. Samikin is down. I report. Samikin is down. Blue Water going to lose this fight potentially. They're going forward, though. Spawn is on the side. He's trying to get a big blade caller, but it's still 4 members strong of Conviction moving forward. The only one down is Insanity. They've got to deal with this front line, though. Ariana still so tanky. Tactical trying to whittle him down, trying to get him down. The decimating smash coming through. This is soul for Conviction if they win this fight. Munchie needs to get the 50-50. Tries to go for the engage. He's going to flash away from the bubble, though. He's going to go down to Tactical. No, he's not. He's so low. Ariana going to step forward. This is so tense. It's going to be the Dragon 4,000 health. Munchie needs to get back around. He's going to have to put his life on the line. The smite on the line. It's going to be Infernal Soul to Conviction. The knockup comes through on the Tactical. Tactical's okay for now. He's going to get bursted down by Spawn. Spawn's got the kill. It's going to be Blue Water. They lose the soul, but they get the fight.
If they can kill them all, maybe they could just end. Bounty's gonna go down. Sniper will get away, but it's a 1v4 for 10 seconds until Insanity respawns. Can the two of them clear the supers alone?
I think that's
no
it.
TP on Sammy.
The minions are so big. There's so many. I don't think they can take this one. Insanity's going to come back out. Sniper's going to come back out. The health bars are not necessarily there, but the engages. Insanity goes for the backline, goes for the frozen tomb. They're going to take down Ariana. They got the Cataclysm down. Insanity is gone again. One Nexus Tower remains. Blue Otter with a little bit of life at the end of the season. A little bit of life before Blue Otter summer. It's Blue Otter bringing us to 3.
Oh my word. That is vintage Blue Otter. You can see the laughs and the smiles as Samikin goes on a heater, but as soon as the
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
Attention please, about to start the show, better take your seats. It's time to let the curtain ride, you're gonna shake the room, you're gonna honor.
Now earn up to 4 times the rewards with the ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card. It's the credit card from the credit union you love. Now earn up to 4 times the rewards with the ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card. It's the credit card from the credit union you love.
Since you guys have been in here, some things have changed. We've updated this place to be in its final form. New cabinets, new counters, all sorts of new stuff in here. This has turned into a place that wouldn't look out of place at an SEC or Big Ten football facility, and Dairy West has allowed us to have it here. We've taken a holistic approach to our player nutrition, and we're really thankful that Dairy West has made sure that our fueling station is the best in college esports and really at industry standard for any college athletic department.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. Is finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great? Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
first series. It has been action-filled, and we'll see if it continues to be so. It is Blue Otter versus Conviction, game number 3.
Now, it's worth noting, there's always a certain burden of execution on a poke composition. Blue Otter, I criticized them in game 1 for playing too fast. It's something that's plagued them throughout the split. They cannot do that with a poke comp. They need to let Samikin and Spawn sit back, fire and damage, find the angles. Only when a target isolates themselves and can be killed, that's when Blue Otter should pull the trigger. I also do want to look at the top side. It's critical of snipers. Jace in their game last week didn't really look that good. He got camped pretty heavily, to his credit. He's got to bounce back against Ariana. Ariana, given the counter pick, will be strong in the side lane later. One of these top laners can get a big lead. Either one of these champions can absolutely take over the game.
That's what they're relying on here. It's also going to be the same side starts for both junglers yet again. So it looks like we'll be moving down to this spicy bot lane. The bot lane that probably is not going to get all of the action early on, as both of them really want to be stacking up as much as they can. Still, the push prio will probably be in favor of Conviction, as they will have the karma there, and that's always a big moment.
Yeah, no surprises whatsoever. Rovek's already forced to chew through both of his pots as well. Tactical did use his, so, you know, maybe potential if you can't find the smolder, chunk him out, force a base, but feels very difficult, especially with summoner heals both being up. I think expectation for me really is that Rovex and Spawn are just going to get bullied down here. The good news is that Ezreal always has been well-renowned for his ability to just kind of pick up CS and be self-sufficient on his own. I think Spawn really just wanting to get to a 2-item spike in this game. Has good trading as well from Insanity. Samikin, we've praised him for how well he's laned so far this series. Definitely like to see Insanity see if he can take some early advantages for himself.
Yeah, we see a little trade early now by Ariana trying to run down Sniper. Those ghouls, or I guess kitty cats, doing a lot.
Whoa.
Ooh, tactical? Tactically, it's CC.
Wait,
First
what?
blood to Blue Otter. Rovek's going to flash over and gets out. No follow-through from Conviction. Would love to see how that went down.
How is that possible? Karma Smolder getting 2v2'd by Leona and Ezreal with their jungler sitting behind. Rovex, he flashed over the dragon base and peace out, bro. And Tomio not opting to follow because he didn't have information on Munchie.
Indeed, as that's pretty massive of an advantage for Spawn on his comfort.
This is the lane that's supposed to win
Ezreal.
for Conviction.
Yeah. Still, Conviction will always have that number at 225 to be the difference maker as Tactical gets through this game. But really, really good start from Spawn on the bot side. Still having his summoner spells up as well. They could revisit that. We did get the Scuttle Crab trade and a little bit of an invade path coming through here from Tomio, maybe going for a roundabout gank over onto Ariana.
Ariana's wave's in a really tough spot. Ariana gotta wake up.
He has no mana. He does have the flash.
He's dead. Even with flash,
he's
dead.
waiting for the pillar. Yeah, he's just gonna hold it and smack him down. Shockwave blast actually comes through from Sniper to get the kill, and it will be a return kill for Conviction.
Ariana asleep at the wheel a little bit right there. Had the ward in the river. I think not noticing Tomio quite as quickly as he needed to, and ends up just going down. I think correct not to burn the flash. He dies there to Tomio no matter what, but that's a pretty big kill pickup. Remember, whoever gets ahead in this top lane can really take over. Sniper up a couple of waves of CS in addition to the kill.
And now, this little setup here can be an interesting push setup for Conviction, as they can kind of try to get this one pushed in and see if they want to get Bounty out of lane. I don't expect Bounty to be able to get off too many roams here with the style that Blue Water has presented. I do like to see the combinations of Tomio and Insanity trying to get active here, as the Trundle having that early skirmish power and that dragon looming in about 15 seconds, a little bit less now.
Something I do want to point out, importantly for Tactical, he was able to hold the wave after dying off the reset, so Spawn wasn't really able to crash it. So Tactical's up a decent amount of CS. So Conviction, really the main difference in this game is just their top lane advantage, which definitely will feel good. on the point of the dragon, though. Junglers are on opposite timers at this moment. Munchie, the only one on the bottom side. I think Tactical Bounty respecting the threat. They have a good line of vision in the river to make sure they are protected. This should discourage any sort of early dragon start here from Munchie, who's really just trying to power clear through his camps.
I do wonder now, though. Yeah, okay, he's going to start it up. I was going to say if Blue Otter wants to, they have a little bit of push. And Wukong's pretty good at taking the solo objectives there. So he's going to go ahead and start this one up. Try to get the early dragon tag. Maybe one of the earliest dragons we've had in the series so far as well. And try to get this preemptively ahead of the grub play that's going to be happening in about 2 minutes time. So Blue Otter going to feel really confident with some of their early objective focus.
And being able to stack dragons quickly is massive when you are playing this poke composition, forcing Conviction into situations later into the game where they may have to walk in. Definitely can be a win condition for them. So good take right there from Blue Otter. Munchie, Samikin's making a play.
Samikin going for the flash play. Gonna get a nice battle star in the flash return out of Insanity. He is just strutting his stuff on his big pick here on the Zoe. I know I was talking to Samikin before the season started, and he was like, you know, if there was one champion that I could play, you know, consistently that didn't matter what the meta was, he told me it was Aurelion Sol. But let's be real. In his heart of hearts, it's Zoe.
We're getting another look at that 2v2. Tactical looks like he might have gotten caught on a reset in that bush by Rovex and just gets walked down.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
That is nice stuff from the duo lane of Blue Otter right there. Pretty big kill.
Munchie waiting. Level 6 is available. Subjugate can come out. You have Munchie going for the Cyclone already.
Yeah, Rovex.
Still a lot of damage, though, and a lot of shred. Oh, my God. Tomio is doing some work back into Munchie. Now power unleashed. Oh! 1 auto. No, 2 autos. That's all it took for Insanity to get the kill back. And now Sniper has joined the fight, too. The Jace coming to bear here as now also that setup from Ariana is there. The Maiden forcing Conviction away from the play. It's still the 1 kill going over in favor of Conviction for that one.
I saw the angle for Munchie, but he was too far ahead of the team. Rovex and Samikin just weren't able to collapse off their resets fast enough. And we can see Trundle still wins 1v1 against a lot of these AD junglers. Even with Wukong getting the drop on him, Tomio not under that much threat, at least on his own. So nice play right there from Conviction to get a kill, bit of a fumble from the jungler Blue Otter and Conviction. They are starting to open up a pretty significant early gold lead as Sniper up in the top side. A kill pickup puts Insanity ahead of Samikin. And despite the 2v2 kill on bottom, Tactical farming up like you would expect in the melee versus range.
Sniper gonna go for the all-in here on Ariana. My God, Sniper! Oh, Sniper is swiping this time around, and that'll be another kill and a solo bolo to the top laner Conviction.
Yet again, Rovex just not able to show up to the play fast enough. That's the Jace that we wanted to see. Sniper, he's looking like he's in position to maybe take over this game. Win conditions starting to fall by the wayside for Blue Otter.
Things are starting to buckle around them. Very early lead for a scaling composition that really is going to feel good at the forward hand of things here. Tomio's going to get the blue buff. Does end up flashing away from the Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Just wanted to make sure the follow-through couldn't be there. TP coming in. That's going to be on the backline. Rovex coming through. The Spellbook coming in clutch. Tomio's going to be the one they knock down. Rovex going for another stun, trying to get over on a bounty, but just turns back on the Tomio. Tomio's the focus, and it's Samikin that picks it up with the Sleepy Trouble Bubble again, as Samikin gets his first kill of the game.
With Rovex having still been on the top side, Tomio felt empowered to walk in with the support and try to bully out Munchie. But the Spellbook difference from Rovex, TP flank, and ends up getting not just the flash, but the kill off of Tomio and some gold into Samikin's pockets, the hero of Game 2 for Blue Otter. He's starting to come online.
He is indeed. Had a impeccable performance. I know it's early in this game. Hasn't died in 2 games so far. Well, I guess he died the one time at the very end last game. But do we count that really? I don't know.
I count that as an outplay from Tomio. That was a very nice flank by the jungler of Conviction.
True.
Unfortunately, wasn't enough as Spawn put on the carry pants. But
we're 9 minutes, 40 seconds in when Insanity completed his first item. He's going to be up and running. The Ludens is pretty good on the pick here. And I think as that first item, especially for Syndra, I think it's so powerful. But Samikin's going to be able to get some nice trades in Insanity here. But still, a matchup that's very, very important in this setup.
Samikin, once he's able to base, should be able to get his first item as well with that kill coming through. I think it's going to be a bit more of a scaling Zoe build. I actually did just see a tweet from, let's see, it was like Windowjizz or somebody. Him and Samikin were working on the new Zoe tech for the new patch. So someone will have to check that one out. I didn't watch the video. I just saw that it existed. If there's any Zoe mains out there, be sure to check that one out.
Yeah, and learn from Samikin. He's one of the best. We do have set up for objectives. I mean, nobody had taken the early grubs, so that is not going to be the focus now, but still an available option. Oh, Scat of the Week. Not going to be enough. Going to get the easy use of the barrier that he didn't need to burn real summoner spell for. But now that we have the grubs up as well as the dragon coming up, could be a little bit of a trade of objectives, but the junglers are saying, no, we're both going down towards the dragon.
I'm a bit puzzled by this rotation. Bounty spending multiple waves mid, but Tactical suffering for it. Now this
really
is a big commit to Sniper TP.
Oh no, Munchie flashes, but still gets rooted down. There's a weird flank coming on here. Sniper TP's in and gets the hammer slam, and he gets the killing spree for Sniper, who's having a redemption series this series for Conviction.
It's a big teleport commitment, though. Sniper is looking at the carry so far. I don't think you could do this dragon. Samikin and Spawn are still full HP. This feels dicey for Conviction.
Yeah.
But Ariana free pushing in bottom. Now they're able to consolidate, but can they do this? Sniper's still here.
This is like the prime position for Zoe when you are on the objective, because she can just pick you apart. It's not going to be enough. Dragon still goes over, so they'll even up the dragon score between the two. And the turret not going to take that much damage in the top side, but there is going to be the redeploy from Tactical up there to try to clean up some of these minions, try to get some more of these stacks, and potentially reposition for these grubs that they really need to be taking here soon.
Honestly, dare I say, very even trade across the board. Yes, Conviction, they get a kill for Sniper, who is now looking extremely strong. They get the dragon as well, but free time for Ariana to get some gold back for himself, and Tactical suffered so much from that entire sequence. That top wave was the first creep wave he was able to touch in like a minute and a half. This Smolder really wants to be scaling, and I think the ultimate gold trade, it will still favor Conviction, but Blue Otter does trade it back okay. As Conviction, though, they're going to keep playing up tempo. So they're not going to let Blue Otter rest on their laurels. They're going to try to keep taking objectives.
You see there, Tomio saving his smite just in case they need to steal them away. Will be 3 grubs to Conviction. Nice XP setup now. About a level up is Tomio over Munchie. That can come to bear as time goes on in this game. It's not going to feel good or easy to catch up in. But does the first item spike really change things on the map in terms of fighting potential, Hawk?
I mean, it does. Trinity Force on Ezreal is huge, as well as the Wukong. Samikin's first item spike not going to be too crazy, but of course Zoe just generally pretty strong at this stage of the game anyway. You can see the trades he is ripping off on Insanity. And it really is looking like the bottom side of the map has got to be the carries for Blue. I think Ariana and Munchie struggling so far in this game.
Tactical going to willingly take that hit so he can get some more stacks going. 225 is the glorious number. And it's Munchie actually spotted out here. Sniper trying to go for a little bit of play on bot side, but some vision contesting in the top side. No objectives up for the moment. Still about a minute away for the Rift Herald as Samikin makes a nice trade back, saying Insanity does have damage too. You got to be a little careful of the Syndrome.
If one of them can connect the knee on the other, it will be pretty devastating. As no one has gone Merc Treads, by the way. It's Lucidity Boots for Samikin and Pen Boots for Insanity. Insanity has said, hey, I don't think my composition does enough damage. I'm going to do even more.
That guy right there on your screen, though, Sniper, been having a wonderful performance on the day, even if they did end up losing that game to Blue Otter. I think we've seen a very different shade of Sniper here today than we saw yesterday. And that's a nice, refreshing moment for Conviction as well. And a lot of resting on this Jace now with the poke, with the damage, with the potential follow-through on the engage as well. And Rift Herald coming up. We saw topside was playing by Conviction for the most part, but now probably going to be a little bit till we get to that topside objective.
Conviction definitely had a big spike. Pretty much every champion that they have strong on one item, save for Smolder behind him, and he's stacking up very nicely. Already having that 125 at 15 minutes, Smolder is going to be a problem sooner rather than later.
And that's always the thing you got to keep in mind on. And that's what Conviction drafted for. So I got to give them props in a game that matters the most. You see a little bit of slowdown in that action, but it's also something that benefits Conviction as they get further and further scaled here. Got a 140 stack count on Tactical. So getting a little bit closer, still a little bit far from the actualization of his passive, but it still is topside control for Conviction, and they'll take the Rift Herald on top of it. So full neutral objective control on the top side so far from them, and perfect timing to either use this as a distraction Karn effect style ahead of the dragon, or to just save that for a little bit of free gold later on.
Things have really slowed down in this game.
Wow, I didn't even get a single. I didn't get anything out of you for the 40K reference.
Wow. My bad.
Wow,
You've been playing 40K recently?
It's fine. Don't worry, man. It's fine.
Oh.
It's fine. I'm not upset.
I was planning on just paying you back later when something actually happened. You know what I mean?
I see.
I don't know. I could make a joke about how Samikin's looking like a zone thrope this game, firing the artillery.
Keep going with the Tyranid references. It's great. A little all in on the top side. Rift Herald also getting used here. Tomio has a heck of a flank. Yeah, I don't know if Ariana's getting out of this one. It depends on who he tries to take with him, though. As Tomio comes over, gives him the chomp. Bounty going to get chased down, but the Root's going to give him a heal, and Bounty's the one that gets the kill. I don't know if that's what you wanted. Tactical's dead in the mid lane. Spawn going to die to Sniper with the extra shot from the turret. It is chaos as things are opening up for Conviction.
Yeah, it's another kill for Sniper. Bounty, maybe not the one that you wanted to kill on, but it still feels good to open up the map. This is a huge gold swing for Conviction as Herald utilizing topside to knock down top lane tier 1. First turret, then mid lane going to get answered back as Spawn wasn't able to survive on that side. So while Blue Otter does trade back a kill, as well as the third dragon, it's Conviction getting all of the money and the map control. And this next team fight, whenever it may be, their composition looking like it's going to be real strong.
And that's a place they want to be. An important series, an important game for Blue Otter, but also for Conviction to keep their head in that top 6 bubble here. And for Blue Otter, it is their last series. Conviction will have another. That's still a very nice change of the times from Conviction. It seems like they've really molded together since yesterday, and obviously with the roster changes in the bot lane, it's always come to question, and a lot more, I guess, pressure put onto the newer bot lanes. But how are they going to affect the game for Conviction? So far today, Tactical and Bounty have been looking a lot better, and it's going off of giving some resources over to Tactical.
Yeah, I mean, Tactical, the nice thing for him, he can be the late game insurance, but he doesn't even need to be the main carry right now. Insanity's strong. Sniper is absurdly strong. And
they're just
Blue
getting
Otter,
gold,
they're setting up a pick. Yeah. They were setting up a pick on the bottom side of the map for Blue Otter, but I don't think it's going to come down. It's just going to be a tier 2. Just taken.
I might be able to do so. One plate left. Getting all the plate gold. At least get a little bit of sun. Okay, that's a greedy back. Bounty's going to get forced off there. Realizes not the place to go ahead and initiate that one. Spawn stepping up. Okay, he'll realize he needs to be a little bit more careful. He'll still try to play that edge against Tactical on the Ezreal. And again, a big comfort pick so far this split for Spawn. Really got to turn it up now, as we were hearing from Patch at the beginning of the series, saying that he believes the bot lane can show up today. We'll need to pick up the slack here as we move forward.
Yeah, I mean, I think the shining light here for Blue Water is that both of their primary carries are strong. Samikin and Spawn are very much in this game in terms of the gold. The problem is that Ariana and Munchie are just so far behind, and that is the front line. That's the skirmish. That's the side lane for Blue Water. They're not going to be able to sit back and poke if they're not able to take any setups, and that is really the elephant in the room for them.
Spawn almost getting caught there, does end up using the arcane shift away. The sneaky devil he is. Some pings coming onto the other side. Insanity is getting pushed on. Does get the Zenith Blade on top of him here. You got the root coming down, double Cyclone, but it's not going to hit the targets it needs to. Munchie's just going to get executed by Insanity, and that just starts the avalanche here. Flash from Insanity, going to get the double stun, try to get Samikin. Samikin does use the belt to get away. Rovek's going to be chased down into the grave by Tactical, who gets himself a kill here. And could they just do Baron? It looks like they want to threaten it.
I think so. Yeah, Jungler's dead, and no support either. I don't think there's any hope in hell for Blue Water to make a fight happen right here as they threw the kitchen sink at Insanity, but him and Bounty staying cool and calm. Good scatter, good McHale's. Keeps everybody alive. Ariana now the focus as his spawn.
Too. Ooh, bubble
Sammy
lands.
found Insanity.
Sammy
kill.
Nice! Samikin gets a kill back. Big shutdown going over to him. Unfortunately, they will lose their top laner. Ariana will go down yet again in the game. Samikin trying to keep this one alive desperately, looking for these big paddle stars. Does get the Pillar of Ice used to stop him in his tracks. Isn't going to be let through to Sniper. He is one of the saving graces still for Blue Water in this final series.
All right. I mean, it is a kill back for Blue. Shutdown going over to Samikin, I believe. And it does stop the Baron. So it does keep them in the game. But Conviction up 6,000 gold. They're just playing together better. It's, again, just like game one, the top side of the map, really just warding these attempts from Blue Water. It feels like overreaches, overforces, shades of what has plagued them the entire season. And Sniper continues to just be Thanos. 3-item Jace at 22 minutes. He is going to kill everyone if allowed to.
Yeah, Blue Water moving in first, but that might be not the right choice. Rovex is just down, burns his flash, still dies for it. Conviction now moving in to try to hunt down the members of Blue Water. And they might just turn for this dragon. You got to remember, Blue Water were able to get 2 of the dragons, including one of the ocean ones, but it still will mean evening up of that neutral objective. And Conviction still lording control over this game with an almost 7,000 gold lead at 22.5 minutes.
Conviction just too far ahead for Blue Water to handle. They're not able to sit back and poke because they can't hold any space. Conviction can just run at them. They can wrest control from the enemy front line as Rovex just got absolutely dunked in that fight, evening up the dragon count, extending their gold advantage. Feels like a miracle will be required to keep Blue Water out of promotion relegation at this point, and Conviction setting themselves up with a date with Destiny against Dorado to clinch themselves a playoff spot next week.
You wonder now how Conviction feels about this uptick in performance for them. It's got to feel a lot better to have these drafts going their way, at least finding a lot of success in their draft. Tomio's so fast, oh my god, he got sped up. Ooh, Sleepy Trouble Bubble lands straight onto Sniper. Sniper might just get bursted down, but he's so tanky. And Munchie is the one that gets bursted down by Tactical, who has hit his stack mark and will be eliminating the competition. Let's see if he can get the execute onto Rovex. Rovex is burning, but Tomio's going to try to run him down here. They're skirting around the edge. Look at it. They're going to get around the Sleepy Trouble Bubble, and Tomio's going to end up finding spot. Rovex just took the round loop of things, and Tomio was wondering where he was at. But now they're on the wrong side of things. Insanity might get bursted down by Spawn here. Samikin going to be forced to flash away. Does hit another Sleepy Trouble Bubble. Now will be a sleepy time for Tomio. But everything is scattering to the wind for Blue Water as they try to get away from this setup. TP! No, it's not. It's not enough. Tactical can't get him. And that will be an exit strategy success from Samikin.
Funnily enough, things getting so weird on the chase actually gives Blue Water enough time to consolidate. Should mean no Baron for Conviction, but still, I mean, Conviction is just way too far ahead. I don't think there's really any chance here for Blue Water. They can't win these team fights. Their carries aren't strong enough to get through Conviction, and their front line is just throwing themselves into the grinder, and that grinder is named Sniper, Insanity, Tactical, who are all just so strong, so much gold. Sniper 6-0-0 on this chase.
Tactical went second item Black Cleaver. I gotta appreciate that. But it is going to get that third item now, too. And that might just signal the doom for Blue Otter. Is there a saving grace here for Blue Otter? Is there an item difference? Is there a setup around an objective? Is there anything to hold on to hope?
Not without an act of God, Mizel.
An act
because
of honor.
truly, I don't think Conviction can lose as long as, like, Samikin doesn't do something absurdly heroic on the Zoe, which I have seen, but I don't think there's a way to lose a team fight right now. As long as you play together.
Rovex was trying to find a play on Insanity. Does have that spell shield. The Verdant Barrier will be down now, though. It'll be coming up sooner rather than later. So side lane push for Ariana. That's been the goal, at least. That's what Blue Otter drafted for, but they're starting to get to the point where they can't let him just sit in the side lane. They've got to defend. There's so much pressure coming onto the base of Blue Otter. They're going to need all 5 to defend it. Some pings going on to the Baron. Baron being shot by Sniper, and it should be started up by Conviction.
See if Blue Water even opts to contest this. I think trading for objective bounties, bot lane tier 2 makes a lot of sense. Maybe a world where you can stall this out, play for a tier 3. Baron's already going down so fast. Big scatter.
Mom gets called, and that just means the party is over here as Conviction is shutting it down. Another pick onto Munchie. Munchie not going to be around for any contest over the Baron, and Conviction will just move right back to it. Ariana trying to pick up some pity prizes, the mid lane turrets. That big Baron buff will be available for Conviction. Is that Samikin looking for some steals or potential?
I mean, they're getting low. And Zoe can steal the Baron. This is a little dicey.
Bubble will go through it. Actually
Okay,
going to
it's not dicey
land
anymore.
onto Tomio, but yeah, they get the kills. So I don't know if that's going to happen anymore. You lose a lot of
Sniper!
that engage.
Flashed
Yeah,
in.
that was close. He's going to
Sniper's
get the
fighting
kill.
Samikin.
He might get the kill. He got it. It's a kill on his Samikin. Everyone gone except for Ariana, who finally gets the tier 2, but the damage is already done.
Sniper, he is legendary. The bounce back series that was promised from the General has arrived, flashing in to rip the heart out of Blue Otter. That's Heart's name is Samikin. Baron secured. Ariana.
Oh,
Speaking to play with Sammy.
they're going to
TP
bring
counter.
Samikin.
Oh, it's Rovex again.
Oh, Rovex, rather. So I was like, Samikin's dead.
Samikin's still
Sniper
dead.
is
Yeah.
coming over, though, with the TP. And no. Ariana just gets ran down by Sniper, who's 9-0 already in this game. And he's going to be the premier face right now with this Jace
I don't
play.
know, Jim. I don't know about that call on the bot side.
You know, it's an attempt. There's something.
It could be described as an attempt. That is, yeah. Blue Otter might just lose. They're down 2 members for 25 seconds, and these towers are going to evaporate.
They are. You can see the siege here. The 3 grubs also coming into effect as well. Just try to get Spawn. Spawn almost just dies. The waves are coming in. Tomio's just off doing the scuttle crab, having a good time. He's just smacking it with his hammer. I guess his pillar. And the push stops. There you are, just gonna get the crash in and back away, get this Baron back off once again, and we take a look at the precision play presented by Philips Norelco One Blade.
Yeah, I mean, health bars were starting to get low. Maybe there's a world for Blue Otter, but as soon as this scatter lands on a spawn, that's when you know that there's no hope of them getting poked off. And then Sniper just runs down Samikin at the top of the screen as the Baron goes down.
Yeah, this game 3 is definitely not the final prize I wanted or expected in this series. I expected tight-knit games. We did get that for 2, but Conviction have blown this series open with this game 3.
Yeah, they definitely have. I mean, maybe there's a world with all the poke Blue Otter can try to defend, but more than likely it's not going to be in the cards. Not a ton of range for the siege for Conviction is notable. They do have a lot of poke of their own, the little snot bubbles and the scatters.
That is true. You can see, I mean, Samikin's always threatening with the Sleepy Trouble bubbles, and I think that's why it's a little bit hesitant to crash this one in. Now they get the multi-lane crash, though, and that should bear fruit at least. Top lane is just absolutely dead. As Sniper on the Jace, finding himself some more gold here as Mom comes out again. Tomio is going to get a decent amount of healing. The Maiden is still up there. They should try to take that one down if they can. It's going to get really low. Munchie tries to go forward, has to immediately clone himself away as Rovex is now in the firing line. Everybody's in the firing line, and Blue Otter are running away, but the shots continue to be fired. Now Sniper is getting his own in, and it's just looking like a unfortunate end for Blue Otter as Conviction have found themselves again. The bot lane transplant has worked in the second outing, and Conviction will continue and move to 500 with 4-4 on their record here with a 2-1 victory over the Blue Otters in Blue Otters' final series.
Conviction is able to bounce back. They snap their skid of 6 straight game losses. They take a hard-fought win over Blue Otter. Both their wins looking very dominant, very one-sided. Exactly what you want to see out of a team that is still in prime position to make playoffs. Dorado, at the very least, they can wipe the sweat off their brow. Blue Otters have drowned in Blue Otter Spring. They're going to the promotion relegation tournament. Dorado now safe. And it's a date with destiny between themselves and Conviction for the playoff spot next Wednesday. Conviction win and in. Dorado, they need to do a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's a lot on the line for the final little moments, but really awesome stuff. I know we're going to give a lot of praise to Sniper. I think as a whole, we saw some great performances across the board for Conviction, but you're able to see what they wanted from draft. They were able to play towards that. The lead in the earlier game just was like a cherry on top, right? This was a team that was always willing to go the distance in this final game because they knew they had that scaling advantage.
And the top side just completely came back to life. Sniper, a great series. Tomio felt like he was being impactful and proactive throughout all 3 games. Insanity, I think overall solid performance from him, containing a Salmonkin that was definitely on one today. And then even Tactical and Bounty, you know, I still think they're finding their stride. Would like to see them limit some of the 2v2 deaths, but I think showing that they still have the individual prowess to play in this league and maybe some more time with the squad could see them power up that much more.
Yeah, it really could. As you see, the gold graph is just a steady climb to the peak that was this game 3 for Conviction. Some little moments there for Blue Otter in their final series, but still a very big win for Conviction in a confidence builder. Like you said, stopping that slide, you know, that's got to mean a lot for all these players. Just keeping their head into the game and keeping that mentality strong as they're still pushing for that upper echelon.
Yeah, they most certainly are. Speaking of the upper echelon, let's look at the upper echelon of this series. It's got to be the one, the only, the general on the side of Conviction. Sniper going big on the Jace, going big on the Cassante, and even in game 2 on the Aatrox, that one really big team fight after the Baron, keeping things quite close. I think altogether a very solid series from the top laner of Conviction. And I think after really some rough couple of weeks for this player, I am so happy to see him look like himself, look like a top tier NACL top laner.
And I just got to give big. The Jace is awesome. The Aatrox is awesome. His Cassante, man. The first time we've seen it, he's obviously played it before, but the first time we've seen it so far this split, and he was masterful on it, right? Like finding a lot of great moments, at least in the individual play. But yeah, I mean, being able to see this closeout game of the Jace just gives you a lot more hope and respect for the grind that Sniper's been going through to make it back to this point at least and have a performance like this, which is so important in the closing moments, obviously, of the season to ramp up into the playoffs as well.
Yeah, and the Jace too, hey, it's looking a hell of a lot better than it looked 2 weeks ago against Supernova.
Yeah,
so, I mean, yeah, I just love to see it. I'm so happy to see him bounce back the way that he did the whole
dive into that mentality a little bit more. When things aren't working, obviously, or things that you feel like should be working aren't, how do you approach that as a player? Like, how do you make sure that you're doing everything you can to have that lineup ready to go for the next time around?
Yeah, I kind of just like sit on it, and the thought naturally comes out like, oh, like why am I feeling like this when I'm in game? And like, well, it's just like the feelings that I get when I'm in game. I feel like I just question a lot whenever I'm just like chilling, because I do wind down. I do try and wind down after like a loss like past couple of weeks, and I'm like, damn, like what's really going wrong with just how I'm playing?
Yeah.
And like the team, of course, because it is a team game. So I think that's just how I like approach those things. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And I guess that being said, is it a breath of relief to get this win and obviously push your guys' playoff potentials? Like, is it still hungry as ever? Is it one of those moments you're like a little bit of a weight off the shoulders?
Yeah, no, I mean, this is definitely some like good news in my life, because honestly, like the past like 9 months have just been like a huge roller coaster. Not really a roller coaster, but there's just been like so many downs. It's just like one bad thing after another. Like today I woke up this morning and I saw that there was like a Reddit thread on me that I'm just like toxic and stuff, which like, you know, like I feel like a lot of those things affect me, and then like on top of that we're losing, and like I mean, no, I'm not gonna say too much other than that, but it's just like it's hard to just keep going, you know, so I'm just trying to keep a strong mental, and I'm very glad we won today, thankfully.
Well, I just got to say I'm thankful for you to keep on going, because it's a pleasure to get to cover you here. As a team, though, was there a different prep style? The draft in bot lane looked a little bit different today, more resources that way. Did you guys approach this series a little bit differently than yesterday?
Not really, to be honest. Our games still look really bad. Like, even though we won today, like, I don't know, it's just like it's not clean, you know, and like I feel like I'm a part of that for sure. Like I could be playing much better, and I still feel like I'm not like playing that good in game. And so I mean, yesterday I think Energy and like Zimburo were just a good team. They just like destroyed us. They're hopefully we can beat them if we play against them again.
Yeah, I'm here for that rematch. Last question, a little bit personal one here for you. Is there anything that you've really been focusing on working on, at least these last couple of weeks? I know in losses it's hard to like keep that focus, right? But is there something that you feel like you've been growing into or learning a little bit more personally?
Yeah, no, 100%. My goal, like for the first or before I played NACL, was just like to get rank 1, and then I ended up getting that, and then like the ranks reset and everything. So my goal is to just like this time around is to just like improve instead of just like play for LP. And I feel like ever since I've been doing that, I've definitely been like learning more and like improving more. So I think just having like a learner's mindset is definitely like helping me get better as a player. And yeah, I think I just gotta keep it up, and hopefully we start winning more.
Yeah, keep it up, man. Last little bit, do you want to give any shout outs? Anybody you want to talk about?
I think shout out. No, not really, honestly. Besides like my team, just shout out my team. Okay. They're very like strong mentally, you know, like we haven't been winning too many matches in the past couple of weeks, so I'm very grateful that they've also kept up a good mental, just like I have. So yeah, we've been doing a really good job on that part of the side.
I like it. Well, keep your head up, man. We're all rooting for you. Thank you so much, and we'll be bringing it back on Hawk as we got to talk to Sniper in our NACL Phillips Norelco One Blade. Great mentality there, trying to turn into the learner's mindset, and I love to see that progression, at least for conviction.
Yeah, I feel like even just in that interview, you can kind of see this weight taken off of Sniper's shoulders, but also acknowledging, hey, job's not done. You know, we got ourselves a win, but we still have work to do, and so it's great acknowledgement of both where they need to go, but also what they've been able to do. And it puts them in control of very firmly the 6th seed for playoffs. The playoff picture almost entirely shaping out. The 4-way tie is still on the cards. There's potential for Dorado and Citadel to win out. And if that happens, plus Winthrop, Louisville, then we have ourselves a 4-way tie, which is where all hell could break loose. But it really does truly feel like the season coming down to 2 remaining series. Next Wednesday, Conviction against Dorado, And then also on Thursday, Conviction against Dorado, and then on Friday, Winthrop versus Citadel. So you're not going to want to miss those. But before then, we got some more good games to cover on the way.
We do. What final adieu to Blue Otter here as we move forward? Obviously, their final series today, but this next one is a banger nonetheless. NRG get next week off. This is their final series here. CCG trying to make a push for the top.
Yeah, CCG trying to show that they can take games off the best of the best, but NRG, they're sitting, and if they win here today, their regular season ends with them at either first or second at worst, guaranteed bye for the playoffs. But I really, for me, seeding's one thing. I'm just interested in seeing two of the best teams in the league going.
and we've seen some great performances across the board from CCG, but wanting to get these strong performances in the last little bit.
And I think a really big data gathering series here for CCG, because we have seen them clearly be better than the teams lower than them in the standings, and that's why they are one of these squads that's already clinched for the playoffs. But last week, they got slammed by Maryville and also dropped the game to the Citadel. And, you know, haven't obviously played Energy yet. That's going to happen here today against Supernova, the other top team. They did 2-0 them, but that was all the way back in week 2 before we really felt like Supernova started coming online for this split. So I think I really want to see a CCG that can be competitive against the top tier teams and isn't just some sort of playoffs gatekeeper. Is it a true top 4 here in the NACL, or is it really just a top 3, a top 2, and we don't know it yet?
That's interesting questions to be decided. On the other side, though, NRG, one of the titans of NACL, and obviously now I'm ears perked to seeing what kind of spiciness they bring. Joey foreshadowing to it. Got a little bit yesterday, but he said even more spicy, Hawk. I'm ready for it. But this team is an incredible beast to behold in the NACL, especially after their performances yesterday.
You know, I'm really curious what more spicy means, because NRG cooked 2 weeks ago, or excuse me, last week against the Citadel, and they got blasted in the bottom lane. Yesterday, they cooked against Conviction, and they blasted the bottom lane. You know what? All bets are off. Sushi and Spica, they've had a great split. I think Spica, we can definitively say, has still been a top 3 support in this league, or I say still, like he's been playing support a long time. Which is impressive for a role swap player. And I think in general, top to bottom, we consider this NRG roster to be top 3 across the board. And it's really great to see from a team comprised almost entirely of young players. I mean, if you really think about it, Zamudo and Kisno are like the most experienced players on this roster, at least in terms of Spica. Obviously, he has years and years of jungle experience and pro experience, but not in this specific role.
He's played, you know.
think these compositions just so stylistically similar. It really is just slightly better scaling for NRG, but CCG has drafted themselves some strong lanes. I do look at Dardoch to be the big carry. The Xin Zhao can be such a big X factor, especially with the Karma behind him. The early skirmishing for CCG should have that marginal advantage.
We get into game number 1 of our second series, CCG versus NRG, in NRG's last series of the regular season, and potentially first place on the line. We get down to it. You were correct. Top to bot focuses for the jungles. See if they want to go with any finicky paths, but you expect that to be cleared to fruition. This is where we get the Enchanter gameplay in the bot lane. Poke is plenty here between the Karma and the Seraphine. We do see 5 Mini actually getting a pretty good trade on Yaojun in this earlier part of the game, too.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Mazel. We might be doing some podcasting this game, as I am
We got the
really
double death
not
fire
expecting early fireworks between these
True.
teams.
Maybe from CCG?
Maybe. I do think they would be the team that wants to get things going if they're able to. Expecting more so, though, for them to just use their strong lanes to try to cash in on early objective control. As they say that, though, Sushi did just get chunked pretty low. Might have to take a base pretty soon. There's no heal, no pod. He is in a lot of danger.
Cody-sun's thinking about it.
Yeah, he's got a base.
He kind of wants the angle here. I'm trying to push off of him. The volley is going to get the slowdown on Cody. Now, it will be the back initiated by Sushi. Prison not going to come through there yet. As very good prio on the solo lane so far for NRG, but the bot lane so far so good for CCG as we come to the second half of the clears for the junglers.
Yeah, I mean, big stuff. That's our featured matchup for the day. Cody Sun and only 35 getting the first lick in on the play. Early base from Sushi will mean he misses.
He didn't get
never
it.
mind, didn't base. He's just going to be sad under his tower. I guess going to try to collect some of these creeps, but regardless, does mean he's going down pretty substantially in the CS department, and definitely what you want to see as a CCG fan. Nice barrier from Cody Sun to make sure he's not taking damage from that tower.
See how much Sushi's able to pick up here. He is pretty far behind in the CS department for now.
I think he should have based initially, because now he's going to be even more sad.
Now he's
it's kind
in
of
some
sunk
trouble.
cost at this point, right?
Yeah.
But Dardoch
Yeah,
can always threaten
Dardoch
to
already
dive.
taking the scuttle. Yep, he is. There's going to be the trade, though. You're going to see Kisno go up towards the top side. Just kind of cede control of the bot side since bot lane is a little bit under fire. And Sushi just had to walk all the way back to his tier 2 to back, as only 35 was holding the wave and pushing him out.
Oh my goodness, and this is going to be devastating. If they're going to try to crash that upcoming bot wave by holding it. Oh, Sushi, he is so far behind through this early game. Really nice laning here from only 35 and Cody Sun. And I will say, no dive threat as Kisno did base, but I'm going to say too, that has been the biggest problem I've had with Sushi throughout his entire career, is he just overstays on waves very frequently. He's been getting better about it, but he just needed to base. After that initial poor trade, he ends up getting punished so much more than he otherwise would have due to the presence of Dardoch on the bottom side and the nice wave hold from only 35, denying him even more creeps.
But you know what's in benefit of Sushi? He has a cute dog named Whiskey, and Whiskey had an NRG jersey on today. So
that is true. Dog buff does go
take
sicko
with that
mode.
what you will.
Which yesterday we did also get the Shiba Inu cam behind Spica during the draft.
We did.
So we do have dog advantage here for NRG's bot lane.
It's the dog buff. There's a little bit of a buff on the bot lane. Flash is coming out. Only 35 is going to go down. Sushi standing tall in the face of the 2v2, but he's going to fall. No, the flash comes out. The nice double root. Now they're trying to get Cody Sun. Cody Sun in some trouble here. They're going to the airy back from Spica. Spica waiting to get the next cast, but he can't do it. It's still a first blood for NRG.
Mechanical outplays in the bottom lane on all sides, but it's Sushi that ends up getting the kill. And that is why we think this player is damned good. A mechanical talent down in the bottom side, and Kisno is here to cover to make sure that Dardoch cannot disrupt this wave crash.
Kisno reading the mind of Dardoch, saying, I know you're hungry, man. I know you see that low health Ashe with no flash. I'm going to be there to make sure you can't get a piece of it. And really nice counter setup from NRG so far. 1,000 gold lead early on into the game. Dragon is up on the board. Do wonder if they want to recycle into that play.
We talked about the individual talent on the side of NRG, and it's just on full display. Laning advantages all around. Saving grace here for CCG is the CS in bottom lane. Cody-san was able to hold the wave before a base, so Sushi is still a little bit depressed in the farm department, but getting the kill obviously going to help shore a lot of that up. And calling Kizno back down here towards the bottom lane so they can make sure they can push out this wave safely. Maybe even force for a dragon, but this is why Dardoch always considered so smart, not going right back to his topside camps either. Going to try to match this play and not give away any objectives to Kizno for free.
He's going to get the Scuttle Crab. We will have a trio movement by CCG if they want to contest this one. Just trying to clear out some of the wards. Looks like the reset of the dragon is going to be there. Kizno a little bit worrisome. Yeah, he is level 6. Oh, speaking Sushi. Lying in wait, only 35, going to take the smart path, but they're going to go for Cody-san. Cody-san is still there. He's level 6, though, comparatively to Sushi's level 4. Uses the culling to start the fight off. Now he's going to get the piercing light, but the double CC is there. Cody-san going to pop the barrier. Still had the flash. This level difference is out of hand.
Yeah, only 35, spending some time not in the lane.
Cody-san with the deadly guns.
Maybe a bit of disrespect coming through right there from the NRG bot lane, walking up to a level 6 Lucian and face tanking the culling. They thought they'd be able to get something going, but Cody utilizing those freezes and the XP difference he's been able to get off of Sushi to great effect, and Cody-san answers back on the bottom side.
Man, what a heads-up play from Cody-san there. Really like the utilization of the Lucian. Confidence we're seeing out of Cody-san. I don't know how he got 2 levels on him.
The wave bot is still horrible for Sushi. He still has no summoners. He's still level 5. He can't play this. They need jungle help. Kizno has to get down here just to bail out his bottom lane. Cody level 6 still with a Dirk and a Sheen. He can play past the wave with the help of his Karma if he wants to.
Okay. See what this dragon is.
They shouldn't let this crash. Yeah, they're not going to.
They aren't. They're gonna, oh, nice little catch there as well. Wonder how this pressure is gonna be levied by NRG. The grubs have spawned, so there's the possibility of the trade of those neutral objectives here now that we have both on the board at the same time.
Nothing gonna happen just yet at the very least with the dragon.
He's still not level
and
6.
both junglers.
Still a 2-level difference.
Sushi missed a lot of creeps this game. He's down 25 CS over that. And Cody really making him pay for it. I feel like ADC XP differential is not something we oftentimes see or talk about, but great awareness from Cody recognizing that PowerPoint. At the very least for NRG, the wave is finally starting to bounce back towards them. Junglers have both reset, both gone back towards the top side of the map. So Grub's focus, at least maybe for now, is looking that way for Dardoch. Kizno is crossing, potentially to make a play bot. There's a CCG ward on the dragon, so pretty good information on both sides about about the whereabouts of each other.
Yeah, Dardoch seems to know he's going to start up the grubs here. It was missing pinging the dragon.
Ooh, only 35.
But it's going to be the engage now. The arrow flashed out by only 35. He's still got his hands. The Cataclysm comes through, and there's no exit now that you don't have the flash. Sushi picks up the kill. Doesn't matter if he's so far behind on the XP. They still continue to find gold down in this bot lane.
Yeah, CCG, they knew Kizno was on that side of the map, but they didn't know exactly where. I think only 35 going to try to put down a defensive ward, not anticipating Kizno to have already arrived in his lane, or maybe anticipating that the dragon would be started off of NRG's bot push. Either way, ends up losing flash and giving over another kill to Sushi. That is really helping to keep this Ashe in this game. This looks like Dardoch made an attempt mid after doing the grubs, but no dice. So it's NRG coming ahead on the play with the additional kill on the objective trade.
I'm actually really glad that Sushi and Spica stopped their base for an extra moment there to help with the dragon, just in case it was going to take a little too long to give some room for Dardoch to come in. They will get the reset out, potentially a roam here by Spica, get out on the map, get some influence here. Mudo starting to stack up in the top side, though, Hawk. he's got a pretty decent CS lead. He's already taken multiple turret plates up there.
Yeah, we've seen that the two guys here in the NACL that play this rec side really know how to use this counter pick. As Zamudo up CS and also just ignoring Fiji to
The
farm
death fire?
his tower.
Okay, no, it's not enough. It was so close. He had like less than 10 health.
Well,
If he
obviously,
gets
too,
the egg
for
pop
Aljun,
like that, that's gotta feel bad.
it would suck to lose the egg, but also you can use it as an extra HP bar in the lane phase just to kind of let you overstay. As, oh, Zamudo.
He's taking turret shots, takes an extra one there, and does end up having to burn his flash to get away. So a couple burned here now. And potentially something to visit in the top side at least. Spica for the double CC there. Only 35 is going to get ran down. Encore goes wide with the enchanted crystal arrow hit. Sushi going to stand tall. Doesn't get rooted. Goes into the vision. He's going to be out of here. He does end up securing his escape with the ghost. And now Cody's son is left out by his lonesome. Going to miss the flag and drag, but Kizno still slams him down with a sword.
Oh, this NRG bot lane is nice with it. We're going to ignore the encore from Spica.
They can't keep getting away with it.
Oh, it just went over my head right now. Oh, I just heard it. But Sushi, that was a really nice 2v2 from him, landing the arrow and just burning down only 35. And the flash out of vision to not let Cody finish him off. That was very well played. And despite the deficits in the CS and level department, Sushi and Spica showing their mettle as straight up only 35. He just walks up, tanks a slow. You can't do that in this lane. Do want to give credit to Spica for at least forcing Cody back at the same time, but that flash right there, Sushi, great understanding of the map state and also understanding he doesn't need to overstay to participate in this kill. He can let his jungler finish off Cody, who also only needed one more auto on his Spica. Can't find it on a knife's edge, but it's those kind of margins that decide games.
Yeah, and those kind of margins have made the difference for NRG. That's 2 plays in a row that Sushi has just stood in the face of the 2v2 and not slunk away, and it's come out the better for him. It's 3-1 now, and while he's still down in CS, the gold is negligible for him, and he'll have another Enchanted Crystal Arrow. He'll have these setup tools for his team, where NRG now have a leading hand in these next fights. They have so much setup CC.
So I'm just glad that our featured matchup is delivering. Every single kill so far this game has been in the bottom lane. Cody 1-1, Sushi 3-1, only 35-0-3. Definitely hasn't been the best game for him, and I have never seen a game be so much of a microcosm for how I feel about a young player as this game is for Sushi. Mechanical mastery, but also struggling just a little bit in some of the finer points when it comes to which waves to be contesting and whatnot. And it does mean that at the end of it all, we have a very even bot lane state of all things, but it's the solo lanes for NRG and their individual laning prowess. Mostly Zamudo and Mini being able to build up some nice CS advantages, and Zamudo tower plates for himself, meaning that NRG has a gold advantage at 14.
And let's be real, well, hey, we're going to that factor. 100% win rate, 100% win rate. The factor that I'm a little worried about for CCG is we've talked about it from the draft and probably going to hit on it a couple more times, but like this is a perfect state for NRG.
It is.
Like their comp becomes so terrifying the more items it gets. And it was a little bit on CCG to be proactive. They have scaling, they have options. But if you're taking a draft outright just on paper, I think you look at NRG's and it's a little bit of an Exodia comp.
Oh, Dardock,
see if they can crack that Exodia open. The left arm is taken away as Cody's son takes down Sushi.
Well, there you go. That's some of the proactivity, and that's what we wanted to see. We wanted Dardock on the Xin Zhao pick to get out on the map with only 35 and try to make something happen. Finally, Xin Zhao makes his presence felt on the bottom side. A really nice flash slow followed through by the rest of the squad and shutting down Sushi, who continues to really pendulum swing this game back and forth.
Gonna see another gank in the mid lane though on a Mini this time. Dardock gonna find 2 in a row, and that's a kill to the mid lane, and that's another pickup for CCG.
All right, well, welcome Dardock to Summoner's Rift, who just did the classic solo queue: gank your bot lane, gank your mid lane, gank your mom, gank the dragon, maybe another fight in bottom. Aljun, he's here.
Kizno's gonna make it out. Sushi takes a huge chunk from the culling. 4 members strong. The wall.
He's stuck.
gonna stick Sushi. He's stuck. That is unplayable. There's no way. He had so much space, but his character could not move. Locked down, taken out. Another death to Sushi.
All right, well, that was absolutely filthy from Aljun, and CCG, they've more or less equalized this game. They went bot, they got a kill. They went mid, they got a kill. And then they went bottom and got another. The problem for them is they do get all the kills, but NRG is going to get the objective. Zamudo, that tower he's been working on all game, this top lane, with no intervention from anyone. Up 40 CS. Now first tower of the game, Dragon getting worked down. Kizno can't do it in time. Dardoch level 11. Kizno's gonna die for this.
Oh no! Dardoch smites it down to 1 HP. Kizno secures the deal, gets his second dragon for NRG.
And gets out, and Fiji came down. Oh no, CCG.
He got the TP.
Overgrouping a little bit. Okay, he is gonna be able to get back top and answer Zamudo, but that's a lot invested from CCG to not get that dragon.
Oh, Aljun. Oh, they're waiting in the bush. They go for the Cataclysm play. Flash does end up being used.
Nice
Really good bush play from NRG to try to capitalize on the back end of the initial play. We do have the ADCs going to mid now. Rift Herald up, and Zamudo lurking behind CCG.
No angle for a play, though. Kizno on the bottom side has used the Cataclysm. CCG being up ultis means they will still be able to answer the objective trade. It's 100% void objective control here for CCG, but NRG stacking up dragons. It's really the tower. That's the only main difference between the teams so far this game. Kills are back to even after the proactive play of Dardoch in the past couple of minutes. Farm as well, also a part of the story. Aljun has equalized after getting that kill onto Phi Mini. But Zamudo up a little bit more on Fiji than Cody is over his opposite number.
Zamudo is going to become a problem in the top side, though. They have not been willing to deal with it. There will be a monster up there. Almost 2,000 gold up with no kills just because of turret plates, just because of pressure and CS differentials. That's the kind of performance we expect from Zamudo, but now he might be answered to. I don't even know if Dardoch can make a difference up here. He's going to try to. Will be spotted out by the control ward Zamudo had put down.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the problem for CCG is I don't think there's really anything you can do. Zamudo, he got his R5 counter pick in a winning matchup against a tank, and he's playing it out really well. I don't think CCG can really invest resources, though, to try to bail out a Scion of all things, especially against such a safe champion like the Rek'Sai. It's just kind of a reality right now that they have to deal with, that Zamudo, you know, he's the monster screaming the loudest.
It's a terrifying scream when you hear it just randomly coming from your top lane. Dardoch was looking for mid. You do have the Rift Herald play, but they're just going to try to get it down low early. And you don't have any objectives for a little while, so it's really just looking for some of this standing gold for CCG to chunk back this lead. But the lead is by no means out of reach for CCG. But let's do some theorizing, some hypotheses. How does CCG deal with Zamudo? How does it work? What kind of chemical reaction do they need?
I think deal with Zamudo directly is not in the cards. They need to win.
Just let him play his own game.
CCG is in a good position to take a very strong team fight at the next dragon if NRG gives it to them. They're going to have 2 items on Lucian. They have the Rift Herald to make a play in for the mid lane turrets as well and get themselves priority over that objective. It's going to be one of their stronger item spikes in the game. And I think as has been the trend really throughout the games today, third dragon really going to be the opportunity for the slightly faster composition to try to break open the game. The problem is, though, I don't know if NRG is going to give it to him. And again, I don't think there's really a universe where it makes sense for CCG to invest significant resources into trying to chase down a Rek'Sai. I think their composition just isn't built to do it. Instead, they need to force him to team fight, and they just need to be better. That's what I mean. That's what Fiji picked Scion for, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. In the bread and butter. Oh, we got it though. The Dusk and Dawn completed for Dardoch. The healing is immense on this Zinzao build. See how he uses it. Like, I'm not joking. You'll see him at like 200 health. He'll just proc and he will be back to almost full. It's actually disgusting. So see if he actually gets a chance to use that here in this matchup. But Zamudo going to continue breaking. Oh my god! So much damage to the turret there off the twofer. Almost takes it down completely. That's a tier 2 potentially falling at about 20 minutes.
Yeah, the barricade plus he's got the demolish and Zamudo. I mean, the way he's just played in these towers, just ignoring Fiji, it's really been intelligent stuff. And I think NRG is looking like they're not going to give this team fight around the dragon. Now, this is a little optimistic, but it's very sneaky here from CCG. They're indexed on the bottom side.
The blue plant did not find them.
Oh, this is very cute.
They're just going to slowly take this down. The Rift Herald play is the focus of CCG, so there's no way they're coming up here. I mean, but CCG, how much does NRG give?
They're playing completely logically, right? They probably think, oh, NRG, they're just on a reset, you know, going to just play for gold, give us the dragon. They don't know that NRG is doing the Baron, calling out exactly the stock standard sequence here, and they can two-man it because Rek'Sai can tank this ad infinitum, and you get the attack speed buff from the Jarvan. This is incredible.
Aojun finally gets an idea, but it's so little and so late. The pick is going to come in onto Fiji as well. There's 4 or 5 members strong up here.
Wow.
Zamudo gets the kill. The Baron goes over in 21 minutes. And NRG just exploded the game.
I mean, CCG in that sequence did everything correct, by the book, logically. They dropped the Herald mid. They took control of bot side for the dragon fight. And NRG moved the map better. They use their winning Rek'Sai. They go for the Baron. They call out the stock standard macro from NRG. And they are now 3,000 gold in the lead with the Baron at 22 minutes. Incredible macro.
And Zamudo's right back to his antics. He already took the tier 2. He's working on an inhib tower now. I think there's going to be a reckoning to come when they have to deal with him. I mean, he's up almost a full item, if not a little bit more, over his opposition. Almost 3K in the divisional lead. Turret on the outside and mid does fall too. So more standing gold to NRG. And this Baron power play is going to be immense.
And they're looking for a dive on Aojun as well. He is alone.
They're just hungry for some eggs.
If they want it.
How do you like it? Over easy, scrambled, or dead? Looks like that's going to be the final choice for Aojun.
You know, Mazel, I think most eggs that we eat are actually already dead. So it could have been any of the above, really.
Could have been. You take your pick. It's like an all-you-can-eat egg buffet in the bot side for NRG.
Myself, I'm typically an over-easy guy. You know, I go to like one of those classic diners. I like to get like the sausage, like the pancake breakfast with like a side of sausage and over-easy eggs. It's always the way to go, man.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah,
man knows like what he wants.
Yeah, exactly. What about you? What are you getting for breakfast?
That's a hard choice. You know, I'm a big breakfast guy.
We got a breakfast enjoyer here.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. We will be getting to the setup here for NRG.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so smart. It's like CCG played a common chess opening that everyone knows, the Spanish or something like that, and NRG just hit them with the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile Gambit. I mean, just like a very unexpected play that takes advantage of doing things by principle, by the book, and it's just incredibly intelligent. I'm really impressed by the macro and the shot calling for NRG. It puts them in prime position to win what was otherwise a very close game, with now a 5,500 gold lead. I don't think they're going to get too much more from this Baron, but I think a 4K Baron power play, you take those.
I'd say you'd be perfectly fine if you do. That being said, though, I struggle to see how CCG kind of makes it back into this one. I feel like, you know, lacking of range in some regard, but lacking of the team fight potential that truly is the namesake of this draft from NRG. We said it outright from the beginning. They knew the hand that they were playing, and they knew they could play it well.
I think, honestly, bot lane just didn't quite win hard enough for CCG, right? They picked this Lucian to try to fight back against Sushi and Spica, but Sushi and Spica outplayed in at least the 2v2 all-ins. Now, Cody Sun did a great job of playing around the waves, but if Sushi's able to pick up kills to shore up that gold deficit, it doesn't matter. If he doesn't get those, I think this is a very different game that we're looking at, but that is just not the world that we are living in. And NRG now with 3 items on their Ashe, 3 items on their Rek'Sai, almost 3 items on their Ryze. They are arrived in this game with the spikes, and I just don't see how Lucian and Anivia can keep up.
Yeah, they got the limo to the red carpet. Is seeming what it's like for NRG in this game number 1. Again, NRG's final series. You heard it from Joey. They want to make sure they're ramping up into the playoffs. Positions like this and confident leads like this being closed out is the way that you do that. Zamudo got attempted on a gank by 3 members of CCG. It did not come up with anything for them, and he'll be just fine pushing in yet another lane in the side lane.
The jungle is very dark and full of terrors right now for NRG. Let me tell you. Ashe Arrow could come out at any
Look at
moment,
all the red,
and Sushi knows
man.
it.
Look, it's just everywhere. On top of the tunnels being there, but I'm mostly talking about the vision.
Zamudo does have quite the tunnel network. He could arrive to a play in mid, really at a moment's notice. And CCG knows, at this point in the game, 2 items on Spica, you can't really engage into NRG. This could be soul points. It's going to be a tier 3. I mean, CCG kind of lost on the map right now.
They don't have any answers. Is the tunnel network like the League of Legends equivalent of the back rooms? Is it like...
Ooh. You know...
Is that where weird things happen?
Yeah, maybe. It could be. It's dude, Zamudo's... I'm going to go back to 40k. He's got his own webway right now.
Oh, true! 40K
Is Rek'Sai an Eldar?
I think he might. I think she might be. That is a tough place to be in. You could see that, you know, CCG is just kind of willing to give over that side of the map. They're going to try to work on the opposite side of Zamudo like they have been all game long. The fact that NRG are now on soul point of a Hex Soul just means that there is a bit of a timer for CCG now.
Yeah, I think the clock maybe has already been ticking for him, but I agree with you. Now it's like a really big one right in the middle of the screen, blinking red, counting down on him. I mean, Zamudo just took a tier 3, man. Like, he really is.
His game has been nasty.
1-0-0 and, like, carrying the game.
Insane lead. Like, that is the craziest thing about this.
He's out. Ooh.
He's
okay,
gonna flash over the wall, and the Decimating Smash going to still knock him up. It's the Glacial Storm, the CC chains. He's going to get his Decerux popped. 3 items, by the way. Gets stopped between the tunnel. He's going to have to go for the fight now. And he gets taken down. Big shutdown to the Birdman. And that's Aojun getting killed with the Baron going in NRG's way. TP coming across. They want to desperately play for this one. Dardoch going to flash over. Doesn't get the smite. It's going to be Realm Warp escape time. Nice wall from Aojun, though. They slow them down a lot. TP coming in, but that's going to be pretty late. 5 Mini doesn't have any exit. Oh, it's Sushi stepping up now, too. TP's coming in means that there's body advantage for CCG. Cody-san tries to go for the Wonder play, but doesn't find it. Fiji tries to go on to Sushi, but doesn't find it. CCG just desperately reaching out their hands, trying to grasp onto something, Sushi. And it's Sushi that they find, dragging him down.
Okay, they do get 3 kills in trade for, actually only 2. In trade for the Baron. It takes them everything to try to kill Zamudo. They do end up getting Sushi on the backside. It's still a win for NRG, but at least CCG will buy them some time. It's something back for them. I think a really nice sequence there for Aojun. Able to still continuing.
Oh, but now it's their TP play. Zamudo comes across the line, and you immediately know the white flag's coming up for CCG. Zamudo finds an angle, only 35. This is the first time we're seeing him involved with his team, and he comes up with a big kill. He's going to get locked down city here. Kisno could get jumped on by Dardoch, but Dardoch is terrified as the damage from 5 Mini is raining. Zamudo, an excellent engage tool for NRG.
5 Mini is really strong. We've not talked about him that much this game, but handling the Ryze and Anivia matchup with ease and chunking out Cody for half his HP with 1 overload on the bounce. That might be a tier 3. Aojun going to do everything he can to try to hang on to it, but I think it's only temporary. Fiji
We go on to Spica. Spica in some trouble here. Does have Sushi right behind him, though. Encore going to come in. Hits on Aojun. The knockup comes through, though, and Fiji gets a kill. Shut down on the Spica. Engage now into 5 Mini. 5 Mini is down. The damage is starting to fall. Sushi doesn't have enough right now. The volley is going to get the kill on the Fiji. Now they're going to re-engage. Kisno thinking about going back in, but just getting pounded by the zombie. Now Sushi steps forward. Arrows reigning supreme. Another kill. Make it a triple kill for Sushi. They want to find a quadra. Are they going to try to give it to Sushi as well? Aoju needs to find a way out, but he's got no mana, no saving grace, and Zamudo is coming for his head. Sushi looking to finish this one off, looking to go for this quadrant, gets slowed down. The turret shot. He's going to get the shutdown again.
Oh, this game getting a little goofy as we get down the stretch. It's bedlam all around, but it's NRG that continue to maintain a lead. Zamudo gonna take an inhibitor almost certainly, unless Aojun not gonna be able to clear out the minions in time. Level 19 Rek'Sai will slink away through the webway. And it's 7,500 gold in the lead. Kisno, the only member still with Baron in hand. Very least for NRG, they were able to show that they've got some sauce in the team fights, but even with killing off 5 Mini early, Sushi just absolutely styled on him.
Yeah, it was an incredible step up from him. Obviously, dying for it, but the moves, man, the moves. You can tell he's feeling himself today. This is just game 1 of the series, too.
I know. It's been such a high-level game already. NRG getting the better of CCG, but I think we've seen really good stuff from both teams back and forth, and I think if CCG had a draft that is more capable of dealing with these late game team fights, we'd be in for a banger as Nice Arrow
comes in. Crescent Guard used in desperation, get away from the play. Sushi takes a brunt of damage, and that's going to be pick on a Sushi. You got to be careful, though. Zamudo is finding your back line. When you turn around, they are dusted. Zamudo in some trouble now. He's going to get some healing. The shield from the Decerux. The Encore comes through. Void Rush is going to be used. Double CC chain. Cody's Son is still firing away, but is it going to be enough? Decimating Smash is not, but it will be the kill as Cody's Son. 5 Mini finds the back line, goes for the AoE. He's going to be bursted down. He gets knocked up. Dude, Fiji is having an insane fight right now. Cody's Son gets a triple, but it's Fiji that set him up for the alley-oop.
I need to put on my glasses, Lennon. I think I just saw double lift on the kite back as Cody somehow manages to stay alive. And now it's a 2v3 on the map once Sushi respawns. I don't think CCG will end. I don't even know if they can get an inhibitor once Sushi comes back up. It's only going to be the tier 2. But Soul Denial would be huge as NRG not able to close out the game. Fiji found Sushi and somehow the carry survived. Let's take another look. NRG starts the fight with the arrow, but look at Fiji into the back line. Sushi, no flash from the previous play, gets jumped on by the boys. And even though only 35 gets assassinated by the dive, look at how CCG groups up in the Aojun Storm. All together, yes, it gets turned off, but they're forcing NRG to dive into the AoE, and it's only the front line and the supports that are dying for CCG. The damage is still always alive, and 5 Mini, he sends it for broken to the backline. He doesn't get it as Cody somehow manages to escape with his life and a triple.
And it cannot be understated how much damage that Glacial Storm was doing from Algae. Like, it hit for like 2 ticks and brought everyone down by like half their HP. Really coming into the damage profile for CCG, showing a little bit of life here in this game, number 1, that felt like it was out of reach. Now only 4,000 gold down.
And I am going to be critical of Mini in that fight. I see the vision to ult into the back line, but it feels like he sent it just a little too prematurely. He maybe started playing that one out more front to back, not allowing Cody and Aljun to focus fire into him. NRG might have had the health bars to carry it out. Instead, the game continues and the gold lead has shrunk drastically. Zamudo, though, still level 20, still very strong. Dardoch died. Dardoch died somewhere. He died.
Yeah, he did. 50-second death timer on that one, and now they're getting caught out in their own jungle. Flashes coming out, everything being used to try to escape. Cody's Son steps up. Aojun is the one that gets the kill, though. Goes on a killing spree on this Anivia. They aren't in safe space now, though. They got to deal with this mid lane, and they got to get out of here. It looks like NRG is going to let them go.
I think Sushi dying saves the game. Sushi being dead means that NRG not going to really have an angle to pressure the base. Ping still onto the Baron. They have the Rise to Machine Gun this one down. There's TP available on Fiji, who just hit level 20 in his own right. But no, it's not going to be contested. Baron to NRG, but the game somehow still in progress after it looked like NRG was going to cleanly close things out. For the last 10 or so minutes, we have gotten real goofy.
Showing why CCG has been in the upper tiers of the NACL, showing they have a fighting chance here as well. Some of their item differentials really being evened out here. Almost full items. We take a look at the picture-in-picture here, how Dardoch got caught.
Yeah.
Just not able to get away.
It's a bad death from Dardoch right there. Just walking up to a mid-wave that NRG was... I mean, maybe he's not expecting them to be playing it, but also I think you have to respect the threat of showing on vision and potentially getting Ash Arrowed in a place where NRG can follow up. Doesn't end up being the end of the world for CCG, as I think the Baron would have been difficult for them to contest regardless. But it does mean NRG still foot on the gas pedal. But Aojun fully scaled on this Anivia, and that's a big stun.
Yeah, I mean, that's a flash from Kizdo defensively. Trying to get away from the play. NRG going to be putting pressure on multi-lanes. They've got many super minions coming down the bot lane as well. The wall will just delay the inevitable. Try to clear some of these minions here before they have to deal with the bot lane. Unstoppable onslaughts hits onto 2. Fiji is kicking off the fight again. Fiji is helping set up CCG. Void Rush going to be utilized, but Zamudo just gets taken down. CCG stand strong together.
It's
Fiji
4.
is having an insane performance on this Scion in the late game.
The only weak side top laner, the true weak side top laner in the NACL. Fiji spent 25 minutes just putting the fries in the bag, watching Zamudo take his towers, take everything in this top lane 1 versus 1. But in these team fights, he somehow continues to find the carries. And now it's 5 mini alone for 30 more seconds as CCG is pushing.
A 7,000 gold lead doesn't mean anything to CCG. We talked about the scaling, the comp difference for NRG, but it's CCG who out-mechanically execute NRG in NRG's final series. This is going to be the end of game number 1. CCG have pulled it back. Massive gold swing, and the tables have been turned. CCG with game number 1.
Unbelievable. CCG. Lennon, that's the second 7,000+ gold comeback
we've seen. Get that fan out there, Cody Sun. Get that fan out.
In 24 hours. That game was over.
Massive. Massive.
Hallelujah, hey, Jubilee. I got a feeling and it's moving to my feet. Take a picture, would you look at me now? Stepping outside so that everyone can see.
Now earn up to 4 times the rewards with the ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card. It's the credit card from the credit union you love.
My friends know me as Derek, but I'm also Master Sergeant Raxter. This is my life in the Air National Guard.
Scott Matlock, underrated recruit, has built himself into one of the best defensive players in the Mountain West.
What would you do if you couldn't fail? Would you see every setback as a catalyst to keep going? This is the innovator's mindset, because innovation demands daring. Is finding thousands of ways that don't work, and the one that changes everything. It's when your unrelenting spirit sees the world's needs and says, I will create something better. So, what will you do? Will you let your genius run wild? Give yourself the space to be great? Set your sights on something even bigger, because we know changing the world doesn't happen by chance. It comes out of the blue.
Since you guys have been in here, some things have changed. We've updated this place to be in its final form. New cabinets, new counters, all sorts of new stuff in here. This has turned into a place that wouldn't look out of place at an SEC or Big Ten football facility, and Dairy West has allowed us to have it here. We've taken a holistic approach to our player nutrition, and we're really thankful that Dairy West has made sure that our fueling station is the best in college esports and really at industry standard for any college athletic department.
Attention please, about to start the show, better take your seats. It's time to let the curtain rise, we're gonna shake the room, we're gonna holler.
Now earn up to 4 times the rewards with the ICCU Premier Rewards Visa credit card. It's the credit card from the credit union you love.
though, means it's not only first blood, but wave denied. And this is why I like what CCG is bringing to the table. They have so much ability to just remove these squishy members of NRG at a moment's notice.
And it's down to execution, but when you see plays like that, it's just perfectly done. And man, that's going to give them a little bit of a heads up at the jungle position. Love Pantheon getting the snowball as another root's going to connect. The all-in coming in from Kizno and the built-over Peacemaker to get the final kill. The last final shot onto only 35. I love that Kizno tried to go for Cody's son. Didn't come up with anything there, but they will get pressure on the bot side now. Things coming out from Dardoch towards the Rift Herald, though.
All right, well, that is NRG opening up a distinct advantage in the lane that most needs it for them this game. So a nice look from Kizno, answers the play from Dardoch in mid, and keep things very competitive. But Dardoch, as you say, going to be able to get the grubs for his trouble. So CCG, I think, still very happy across the board about the last couple of sequences.
And looks like he will be left to his own to get the grubs as well. And means that we'll just have that continued trade, honestly, from last game with the top side versus bot side neutral objectives. CCG really like their Void, apparently. I don't know what that entails, but they really like it. And I think the grubs can't come back.
They're brooding. They're very dark and mysterious.
Brooding. It's a interesting tagline for CCG. The dark and brooding team of the NACL.
They're actually just the emo team. That's what we're going to know them as now. Honestly, someone should start that team. I'd be a fan. I know other people would.
Yeah, same. Me right here. I would be a fan. There's a little thumbs up for 5mini and make it out of that mid lane. Gonna TP back as well, and a little bit quiet on the storm here, as it has been for the other game in this series. What a boon it would be for CCG to take down NRG in their quest for these final pushes of wins. NRG also still pretty good stakes in this game with the first place, but it's going to be a side lane attempt by Dardoch. It's going to be the equalizer in return by Zamudo, and a back comes through ready to TP into the top lane.
Yeah, good avoidance from Zamudo. Good look, though, from Dardoch. Ends up just being a trade of ults. Flash burn, though, does mean it's very re-gankable. Next Dragon, however, coming up in about 10 seconds. And I think this is where I am really looking at potentially a big play. Only 35 does have the flash back. Eoju, no flash.
Whoa, Kizno finds the solo kill on only 35.
Only 35 must have just face-checked the dog, and that guy has a Voltaic Cyclosword completed. So, I mean, CCG clearly was wanting to fight for this objective, but a bit of disrespect, mispositioning maybe coming through from their support, and it just means that NRG, they're going to get a kill, and they're going to get an objective for free.
And this kind of lead is so terrifying for NRG, but so was the last one, I'll just say that. 7,000 gold up, but a little bit of a different game plan here for NRG this time around. Kizno definitely a lot more in the driver's seat of his own ambition here. Second Dragon is secured. We will have a Mountain Soul on the Rift, so might behoove CCG to try to start taking some of those with the tankiness, and would be nice on their squad. But now we have those first items. You said the Volcaic Cyclosword, but we do have the Hex Optics completed for Sushi, so gonna have some good damage there. You also have the Sundered Sky for Dardoch.
NRG, I'm going to give them credit. They're really playing well with this composition so far. Still have questions as to where we'll be come the team fights, but we did mention before the series. Oh, Zamudo, no flash, he's dead.
Eoju gonna be here too with the Tibbers. Not enough damage. Zamudo is down. Big pick in the side lane for CCG.
Honestly, respect to Zamudo for trying to fight that one out and trade out 1-for-1. Just doesn't quite have the damage through all the CC that CCG brings to the game. Call them crowd control gaming this game.
I like it. Pun absolutely intended. Thank you for that.
Exactly.
Do wonder if it's going to pan out for them. Still a decent map advantage for NRG and some of the plays they've been able to do. Some picks are going to be available, and especially now that we're getting another move from Kizno to try to be proactive on this Nefiri. Will Fiji take the bait? We'll have to wait and tell. He's going to go in. Kizno Trying to go with the Dark and Daggers just to lead, get some of that bleed going. Dogs on him. Nothing else going to come of it. Now Dardoch with a counterplay potentially, as the back will be initiated by Kizno, so nothing else.
Dardoch just sitting there seeing if he needs to ult. Doesn't need to commit to the counter gank prematurely. I think not really much threat there for Fiji. As long as he has his flash up, should be pretty hard to take down, as June is starting to get pretty strong. He is the only lead for CCG, but also one of the larger ones in the game.
That's going to feel pretty good on the ante. Again, you have a direct hand in how a lot of these fights get played out anyways, so being able to have a little bit more resources your way, it's going to feel pretty good. Not that far heads and above his opposition in 5 mini. Item spikes nonetheless coming through for them. And we have CCG's next favorite thing on the menu. About 1 minute and 25 seconds for that Rift Herald on the top side. Again, they really love. Oh, Zamudo, you have overextended yourself, and now Fiji looking for a solo. That's going to be the equalizer. Fiji! The weak side top lane ain't weak no more. Solo bolo.
All right, you know what? Maybe I was a hater too quickly on the Skarner for Fiji, as he goes for the flash, the pushback, the impale, and the dunk as he throws a rock into Zamudo's face. A exceptionally rare solo kill onto Zamudo. I cannot even remember the last time I saw one.
That's a 40 CS differential too. Cody-san unfortunately going to be brought low. TP coming in from Aojun, trying to go for Kizno, trying to go for the flash play. Doesn't have the CC, does have Tibbers though, and it's not enough. The bleed is enough to get Kizno and 5 mini, the combo kill. And that's an unfortunate series of events for Aojun.
Wait a minute, maybe NRG starting to show some sauce with this comp. They can just outplay Aojun. TP's in to try to cover the dive, but I think Cody was always set to die. And once he arrives, trying to chase down onto Kizno, but he had no stun. So Kizno is able to contribute to the play, opts to just re-engage it, maybe trade himself out for 1-for-1. I don't even know if Kizno thought Kizno would live, but he did. So we can get another look. I think it's a very optimistic notion that CCG would be able to get their AD carry out of that 2v1.
I mean, if he had the stun, he just didn't have the stun.
So low, yeah.
He literally died with the stun still up.
I mean, Aojun had to dump his whole combo to get the stun in the first place, but that is definitely a feels bad. Even one more stack on the passive and he probably gets him, so definitely a tough look for Aojun right there. And like I said, I think Kizno, like when he chose to go back in, I don't even think he thought he would live, but he did. And NRG now 2,000 gold in the lead. The hands check composition. You know what? Step 1, gather a gold lead. They've done it.
True. That's all you really need. It is going to be, though, CCG putting up a bit of an effort into this dragon. They don't want to give NRG the decision-making power of having soul points. So they want to make sure they can get into this river and contest this objective that's coming up in 15.
And this is where we're going to have to see something, right? Can NRG in the 5 versus 5 with the composition they have? They have a lot of damage, so if they are able to find the priority targets, they absolutely can. But CCG, they've got a nice front line. They've got a lot of CC. How does NRG approach this fight? Are they able to find anyone isolated?
And even Kizno walking in there doesn't get pounced on because Dardoch wants to go back for it. Only 35 with the double. It's going to be Dardoch flashing over the wall, and they've already gotten down 1. They're going to try to take more, but Aojun gets taken down by 5 mini. Now it's Sushi also free firing on the side here. Dardoch getting a little bit low. They've already lost 2 members, only 35 in Aojun. That means Dardoch is next to fall. Ace in the hole, not enough, and it's not enough either with the weirding. And that's going to be the dragon reset. A big play by NRG on the bot lane.
All right, well, these two junglers are simply escape artists. First, it's Kizno that gets out on a sliver, and now Dardoch ends up being a 1-for-2 in the favor of NRG, but no objective taken makes it a fairly Pyrrhic victory as
Zamudo?
Fiji is Can't kill him.
Close. About 30 CS differential. Now we'll take a look back at this one.
Yeah, I think this is just too deep for only 35. Aojun's just a little too far, and so the follow-up doesn't quite come through all at the same time. And while Kizno does get blown away.